All right, this is the Code Breakers. This is Paradox. This is Paradox. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. I don't know what's going on with my phone, man. But yeah, man, what's going on, man? What's going on with you?
Nothing much.
All
Nothing
right.
much. You're still working on your phone?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is it
yeah, yeah.
coming
No,
through
no, no.
clear?
I'm not so I went out for like a good at least 20 seconds, right? I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm like in and out of of an area, so I'm like downtown. So I'm trying to be a little bit incognito. So maybe it's like a little noise or something like that. But what's up with you, man? What's going on with you, bro?
Not much. Same old, same old.
Good, 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 man. So we know we got to discuss some of the stuff that's happening over this
What
week.
stuff?
You know, the regular stuff.
What, the Diddy trial?
Is he still on trial?
I have no idea. I'm not keeping up. No
The
idea
stuff
at
that
all.
you per the stuff that you study or are involved with on a daily basis, man. Your friendly friends on the right.
Are you talking about politics? Yeah, it's another
Yeah,
week.
what else would I be
Another week in politics, as always.
what else would I be talking about? Yeah, yeah, political channel. Last I checked. Not
Yeah.
unless you want to talk about the black woman, black man loophole and circle down the drain of that kind of foolishness.
Oh, that's
You wanna
insanity.
do you wanna touch that?
It's nothing to. It's nothing to touch. Shit, it doesn't exist to me.
No, it exists.
Pseudo fantasy bullshit. Nah, that shit don't exist, nigga.
It
It's a bunch of
exists.
motherfuckers jerking off. That shit don't exist.
No,
It don't exist to
see
me.
that see this is what you gotta understand, right?
Don't
Or
exist. Will never exist. It's like listening to
no,
Brother Polite. This
no,
shit is nothingness
no, no,
in the real
no, no.
world. Oh, it is nothing.
People choose people choose their silos and their realities.
Man, you can
And
have whatever
that's something that
hobbies
people
and
have energized on that.
you can have whatever hobbies and cults and bullshit that you want to do. It's still bullshit at the end
Yeah,
of the day, to me.
yeah.
But
Of
I mean,
course. Of course. But it's
yeah,
just,
what
they're
everybody
gonna
else
have
doing.
they're gonna have their
Those
own
people
thing.
are
But I
fucking
just,
literally irrelevant to me. Is my whole point. They're no different than
yeah.
motherfuckers getting bombed in Gaza. They don't mean shit to me. That's what I'm trying to say. I give two fucks about what somebody's doing in Japan right now, no more than I give two fucks about some dumb niggas talking about bitching all day, or vice versa for that matter. It's an utter waste of fucking time. Again, to me, but I'm me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the silo of the black male, black female dynamic it has it has been exaggerated and lived to a point to where it is now its own little thing. So I won't
Cause niggas,
deny
but
that.
niggas trade Pokemon cards, bro. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
I'm not talking about no
That
Pokemon
shit
card.
don't
You know what
exist
I'm
to
talking
me.
about.
Motherfuckers trade Pokemon cards all day.
Do families exist to you?
I don't know what that means.
Do family exist to you? I'm asking you a question.
I'm saying I don't know what that means.
It's
I don't
not
understand
about
the
what it
question.
means. It's a question. Do family exist to you?
Right. I don't understand the question.
Do
I
you
don't know what I
believe
don't
in
know what I don't know what
family?
I don't know what that means though.
Do
Gotta
you
elaborate.
believe in people? Do you believe that people have relationships?
Human beings exist on the planet.
Okay, then. So that's
Trees,
it.
water,
That's the
grass,
same
air,
thing. So this is just
planet,
a
the
this
sun,
is just
solar
what
system.
people choose to talk about. That's all it is, bro. Like
I
it doesn't have to be any heavier than that.
I literally said people have all kind of hobbies.
But you talking about Pokemon cards? That's fantasy.
It's all the same
Pokemon
shit.
is
It's all
fantasy.
bullshit.
No. That's where you
think
wrong.
they think it's real.
No.
You been to go to Comic-Con.
No, let me tell you
that
something,
shit is
man.
real. They're weird, and it's weird. And sitting around talking about bitches all day to me is just as fucking weird. It's the same shit to me. It's like listen to niggas trade Pokemon cards. Take it how you want to take it. They can take it how they want to take it.
Yeah. No, I mean, because like I said,
I don't like Jerry Jones. I don't like relationship shit. I don't care about none of that bullshit. It's all bullshit to me. Relationship books, dating books.
Where did Jerry Jones come from?
Trying to explain about women and vice versa.
You said Jenny Jones. Jenny Jones.
Yeah.
Ricky Lake and all them. Yeah. No, I got you. I'm just saying people feed into it, and that's what they like to talk about.
It's all the same shit.
It's just trying to deviate on what was important and make it into what it is now. So what you're saying, and what I think you're saying is that's something that just an individual thing anyway. It doesn't even
motherfuckers dressed up as furries, bro. I don't give a fuck about them furry dressing people, but they do it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't give a shit about it. It don't exist to me.
Yeah.
That makes
sense. That's a difference. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a different thing, though.
Yeah, people into all kind of weird shit. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. You know how many cults exist? And people in all type of weird shit. Weird religious shit.
I don't know that.
All kind of weird ass philosophy. I can play Jabari weirdo ass right now, talking about some fucking Kemet shit. Fucking weird shit. That's all I'm saying. It's just bullshit. So why would I give a fuck about it? That's all I'm saying. I'm just expressing it. It's the same shit to me. Whatever you sit around talking about every day is do what you do. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But I literally give two fucks about it. That's all I'm saying. Shit is damn near fucking disturbing, really. Man, this shit's worth nothing. Yeah, just waiting for DC to jump back on. I think his phone dropped out. I'll give him a minute.
Hello. When did I drop off? I was talking. When did I actually drop off? Do you know what?
As soon as I stopped talking, as soon as she started talking.
Jeez, that's crazy, man.
20 seconds.
Yeah, did you hear what I was saying about people just kind of like talking about some of the things that they talk about, and that they want this to be a real thing? And did you hear all that or no?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I said I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't care. I mean, that's all type of shit that exists. I mean, there's tens of thousands and thousands of things where groups of people are talking and they're into all type of shit.
Yeah. You know, I was just
you got people who love politics, and most people hate politics. Don't want to talk about it. Don't give a shit about it. Don't give a fuck about no voting. Don't bring that shit to. I know people who you cannot even mention that shit. They hate that shit. They hate it. They don't even. They dislike it. They hate the shit. So that goes
Why do
literally.
you think?
That goes literally for every single thing on the planet. Though is that groups of people are into different things. I just don't give a fuck about, but what I give a fuck about. So if other people are into other things, so what? Enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
I don't want
to
interact with them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to see them, smell them, or nothing. They're no different than Pokemon traders or a motherfucker that's in a cult in Arizona somewhere in the desert.
Yeah, what I was saying is that
practicing their belief system or some shit. It is what it is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So what I was saying was that most likely, when it comes down to relationships, people have their opinions on those. And it seems to be something that's very easy. Right. It seems to be very easy to kind of delve into.
People got opinions about paper straws versus plastic straws, bro.
I understand. I'm just trying to see. That's what I'm saying. See, I hate that that we started a program in this kind of manner. I'm not trying to make an argument. Yeah, but I'm not trying to make an argument for people black male, female. Yeah, I'm not trying to make an argument for that. But I'm saying to you that I can't discard whatever they deem important, because some of those things I think is important too. That's what I say.
I don't disregard Pokemon card players either, though. So it's like, okay, I know people do it. I know they be out here searching for cards and shit.
That's not the same thing.
It's something that happens. It is what it's
not
around.
The same thing. That's fantasy. Pokemon is not real. Pokemon is fantasy.
It's definitely real to people.
Nah, bro. Pokemon do not exist outside of what somebody created, video game or in a comic book.
Yeah, but
Pokemon do not exist in the real world.
Yeah, but most things, it is physical. But most things from human beings, we make up most things, don't we? We make it up. We create things. We set things up. People like it or don't like it. Deal with it or they don't deal with it.
Yeah, that's why I asked you. That's why I asked you if you.
But if I had to rank the most important, if I had to rank the most important things in the world, what you're talking about is where the Pokemon people are.
For you.
For me,
you said that. Yeah. But I would say
what it is. If it falls in that category of the irrelevant bullshit, then it's gonna be down there with the Pokemon card.
But this is what I'm saying to you though, bro. People think that relationships have a very high regard, regardless of whatever it is. And the thing is, because most people share that sentiment, that becomes very, very important to them.
I've been on this planet a long fucking time. I hate niggas that talk about bitches all the time, and I've always hated it. I still hate it, and I don't give a fuck about talking relationships. So whatever you're saying, I don't know what that means to me though.
You hate niggas that talk about bitches all the time? That's a strong word, man. You mean you hate guys that make excuses? You got a different. You hate guys that make excuses.
I'm not. I'm giving you me. I have friends and family members specifically who talk about bitches all the time. They have no other conversation. I hate the shit. That's all I'm saying. That's just a very specific thing I just gave you. I have to force them to talk about other shit because they can't stop just talking about bitches all the time. That's all I'm saying. So, it is what it is. I'm just giving you some information. I mean, it's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, I got you, man. See, you got to slow down on the fact stuff. Your opinion, it's not fact.
It's my
It's
fact.
not. No, it's not your fact. This is not paradox facts.
Me not liking that is not my. Then what the fuck? It's not an opinion.
Were you not liking?
If
you not liking something.
What are the facts? When somebody says, "What are the facts of paradox?" That's one of the facts.
You not liking something. That's facts. Paradox don't like that. Correct. Now hold on. The importance because you feel like no. Listen to what I'm saying. There's a difference. Now don't conflate. You saying that it's not important is your opinion. That's my point.
To me, it's a fact.
but I'm saying it's an opinion though by you. By you, it's an opinion. When you make a statement that is not
No, it's my
important
fact. It's my fact.
for
It's my
you,
fact, son.
for you, because that's the way that you.
No, it's a fact
Here's the
about
word.
me.
Here's the word. That's the way that
Let me
you
give
feel
you a
about
fact.
something.
Let me give you a fact
It
about
doesn't
you.
mean that black
You have a
relationships is not
child, right? Is
important.
that a
That's
fact
crazy.
or is
That's
that an opinion?
ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. That doesn't make sense. That's
What
what I'm
doesn't make
saying.
sense?
Like you don't like you saying that because you're saying that the way people talk
No, I
about
said a
black
fact about. I
relationships.
said I ain't talking about no
Listen,
black shit. I
man.
ain't talking about no race shit. What I said was
I said black.
as
I
I
said
said,
black men and black women. That's what
yeah,
I
like I
said.
said, don't care about that shit. What I'm saying is that
Of course.
as far as I
But
go, I
that's
said that I don't
that's
like
the way you
a fact
feel
of,
though about something
no.
though. Paradox?
If somebody said what's a fact about Paradox? Well, when people talk about certain things, you don't like it. That's not a fact. What are we talking about
No,
right now?
that is a fact. I just announced that.
Shit,
Not
what are we
liking
talking about?
something, saying that you don't like something is a fact about you're saying that you don't like it.
10 facts about you.
Saying something that's not important is your opinion.
Well, that's something different. That's a different.
Then.
I preface it a certain way on purpose.
Right. I get it. You feel very strongly about it. I get you. No, that's fine.
I don't feel strongly. I hate it. Fuck strongly.
That's what I'm saying. So you hate it. That's what I'm saying. So you hate talking about that. That's a fact. But see, that makes sense. Paradox hate talking about black female, black male dynamics and relationships.
I don't care about.
I would say. Well, that's what I said.
Ain't no black female male.
So you saying you hate talking about relationships, period, then, right?
I got all kind of friends.
Right?
So I don't know about no black shit. I got all kind of friends.
All right.
So I got friends.
So you hate talking about relationships, then, right?
Damn.
But you say you hate talking about relationships, though, right?
I don't want to talk about that shit. There's other things I'm into other shit.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get you to acknowledge that you said it ain't black or anything else. You just hate talking about black. You just hate talking about male female relationships. Period.
First of all, that's what bitches do. We start here. To me, that's what bitches do. Bitches talk about relationships. Bitches talk about dating and shit. I didn't grow up like that, so I don't give a fuck about that shit.
You just said, hold on.
Go out and get what
Paradox,
you get.
you just said you are around people. Paradox, you just said, Paradox, you just said, Paradox, listen. You just said you are constantly around people, but that's all they're talking about is, in your words, bitches. And you said, why are you talking about bitches? Don't talk about no bitches. I don't want to talk about bitches. That's what you said, bruh. You just said that.
That's true.
Then. So that's what I'm saying to you.
Women until America became.
I agree. Listen. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I'm just saying people have decided that that's important. That's all I'm saying.
It's confusing to me, and I hate shit. And I'm not going to spend 5 seconds worrying about what nobody. I don't care about that personal bullshit. Never have, never will. Other things to talk about in the world. It's a waste of fucking air.
And I'm telling you that is your opinion. Now the way you feel about it is a fact. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying to you. That's it.
I just want to be crystal fucking.
And granted, listen, and I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Guess what? The things that I like to talk about, very few people like to talk about.
So you're going exactly right. And I'm saying, not only do you not care, it's okay. That's fine. It's fine.
Go trade Pokemon cards, bro. Enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying?
It's fine, man. But
go put a koozie on your head and get you a following of people, and you can sit around and talk about, I don't know, fucking revolutions or some shit, or whatever goofy shit you want to talk about. That's fine. Enjoy yourself.
People gravitate.
I don't have to talk about
what they deem is important.
I have control over myself and what I want to talk about, and that's the lane that I'm sticking in. The rest of the shit to me is bullshit.
Right. So I mean, my I just I was just basically just saying that as an aside to when we was talking about what we would discuss, and I was just like, it really turned it was a joke that didn't, that really didn't
Oh, it's
land
funny
well
as fuck
because
to me.
you took it to a way different level. But I think that
No level. It's funny to me that it's even a
yeah,
thing around Pokemon. It's hilarious.
you went on a whole diatribe, Pokemon cards and Jenny Jones.
I'm just
I'm
giving
like,
you.
bruh,
I'm just telling you where
what's
I have
going
it placed
on?
that into my brain. Is that a lot of shit that people talk about, no matter what it is, it's like watching people trade Pokemon cards. I want to make sure that people grasp the analogy of how low level I think about the bullshit of that waste of time in my mind, in my world.
Right, right, right. In your opinion, that's fine. Everybody has it. Everybody has what they deem to be important. Some people think that that's the most important thing to talk about. Literally,
Well,
is
look,
relationships.
I salute them. Good luck. Enjoy yourself.
I mean, it's crazy
Just keep
because
that shit away from me, please.
I don't think that that's the most important thing to talk about. I don't believe that, but I mean, there are a lot of people that do. They think
They
that
can.
if the
Guess what?
family,
A lot
I'm
of
gonna
folks
tell
believe in
you,
all type of shit.
I'm gonna give you an
Do
analogy,
you
right?
do you know how big the
I'm
Pokemon
gonna give
card
you an
industry is,
analogy.
bro? Do you know how big that is? Millions of people do
I
Pokemon card trading. It's very
I
popular.
understand. I understand where you're trying to go with in your mind how you view it. But what I'm saying to you is
No,
that some
Pokemon
people, right?
cards is a global phenomenon. The whole world trades them. It's a big deal.
I know, I know it, I
You
know it.
know, I didn't pick
Got his
something. I
own
didn't
little
pick
culture,
anything small. I picked that.
right?
This is a big deal. People spend
He
millions of dollars on this
got his
bullshit.
own, yeah, got his own little culture. Yeah, I know, I got you. Um, what I'm saying is some people believe that that is the beginning of everything. So that's the reason why they delve into it. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I mean, that's just like I said, it's very nuanced and opinion based in my view. So I don't hold the view that is nothing, but I don't hold the view that is everything either. So just like with most things, I fall in the you know in the middle game. So I'm in the middle on that one. I'm not gonna knock it all the way down, and I'm not gonna knock it all the way.
It's
So
very, very low on my list. When it
yeah,
comes to that
that's
type of
fine.
when it comes to that bullshit, do whatever you want to do in your life. Enjoy yourself.
That is perfectly
I give
fine.
two
A lot
fucks
of
about it.
that,
Just keep the shit away from
and
me as far as
and to
fucking possible.
believe it or not, a lot of it does have to do with what, in my personal viewpoint and the opinion, that it has to do a lot with the um, politics and how people view different things and how the environment is set up. That's how people relate to each other within the environment. So it dictates relationships, you know, and how people relate to each other. Doesn't have to be romantic or not. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that
Anyway,
concept.
anyway, um,
Good luck with that theory.
let's um let's talk about your president. Man.
I'm
I
listening.
think I think he's I've been kind of like, and like I told you, I delved into the right very heavy this week, right? And then it just so to happen that a lot of stuff went on this week, like the Candace Owens coming out, saying what they said, and like I said, like
Said what about what?
the the um the Iran conflict and everything, the propaganda machine from the right. Um, I listened to your boy Pete Heslett, uh, your boy Tucker Carlson, and Ted Cruz interview. I mean, I did. Mark Levine, I love Mark Levine because Mark Levine always gives it up, and this week he gave it up wholesale,
Yeah.
wholesale this week, bro. I mean, if you are a black person, black man in particular, in my opinion, you are doing, you are, it's not even, number one, this is my because like I said, I try to grasp the manhood argument, because I mean, Richard Reeves had a couple of things he was saying about how certain young men were not joining the Democrats or whatever. That's a whole nother narrative that I wanted to delve into also. That it's kind of I wanted to kind of pick your brain on a little bit and see how really deep in the rabbit hole you would like to go. I think the whole political thing, to be honest with you, the point that we're at right now, the political parties and the alignment don't matter. It's just the spaces that you travel in that is basically causing what I call to be the you either this or either that kind of game. And people are choosing the less of what they can tolerate. Because what I'm finding out is that even on the right, there are silos, just like it is on the left. So there are people over there, they're what I would call like the classical Republican. They just not going to vote for anybody on the left. They just won't do it. So whatever foolishness that happens on the right, whatever person that they put up there, they capitulate, they try to make room for in their brain to acknowledge this person or have them in office, or whatever the case may be. This is in my opinion. Now, stop me, if I'm saying something that you disagree with, please. From what I can see, bro, this MAGA thing and its components, I think these are the people that really hate the government. I think these people hate what the United States is, bro. I do. I think they're the ones that hate it. They're the ones that want to basically overturn the government. I really do believe that, bro. Like, from listening to the right as long as I did this week, I'm convinced that these people want to start, number one, a civil unrest here. Not a civil war, but a civil unrest, to where martial law can be enacted, due process can be taken away. You can skip process in the courts. They don't like the long game. They don't like taking time on doing due process. They want to skip the line. They want to agitate to inform or impose a rule of law. They believe in the United States, but they believe in the United States in a certain kind of hierarchy. And in my opinion, they believe in it from race. It's a race first thing. So when they say Americans, they mean white Americans, white American male, primarily.
Bullshit. But go ahead.
Okay. You can knock it down when we're gonna get into it, because like I said, man, I let you go running all this, the left and right, left want to ruin this and that other. The left have their issues, and I will get into that also. But you cannot tell me the violence, the antitrust laws that these guys want to pass on people. They don't believe in free markets either. They don't believe in that. They want to they want to enact rule. Most of the people that are basically speaking on behalf of the right now. I'm not saying that this is everybody that votes Republican, because see, I think that's two separate things. People that vote for the Republican Party, just like in a Democratic Party, you got your loyalists, and it doesn't matter what the person says on either side, they're going to vote. They're going to vote this way, no matter what. And then you got your people that I call the influencers, the people that are doing the influencing on the right, that are carrying the water for the right. These people, man, in my eyes, do not like the way America is ran, and they want to fundamentally change it by law. They want to change how this country was basically enacted, bro.
Yeah,
and
you're definitely giving your fucking opinion. This is definitely not facts.
Okay then. So you tell me.
One man's
No.
opinion.
No. You show me an example. You show me an example of You know,
I don't
is it
even know what the
Steve
fuck you're
Bannon?
talking about.
No. I just told you.
Really?
I'm telling you
I
that
heard you
these
say a lot of
people,
words.
you know how you know, hold up. You know how you said, no. I'm gonna be real direct with you. You know how you said that the left hates America and you don't know any other way around,
Everybody know
like the
that.
left on it. Hold on, no.
I'm not
You
telling you
said that,
that.
right?
I'm not breaking news. I'm not breaking no news
So
here.
I'm telling you,
That's a fucking fact.
I'm telling you that that's
Shit,
bullshit.
especially the far left.
Because if you look at the way
Maybe the corporate left.
that they because technically, you're gonna find so-called black revolutionary, fake revolutionaries and stuff like that. That is not the same as what you're seeing on the right, bro. Well, now, okay then. Well, that's not the same that you see on the right, bro. That's not the same thing. And I like I said, we could go.
Are we talking big boy shit right now?
Dude, we can.
I didn't know what you're doing right now. I didn't know where you're at right now.
I am talking. No, listen. I am talking about these people want to have a civil unrest here in this country to enact martial law.
No.
I'm convinced about that. So if you're telling me that that's not true, I could present the talking heads because, bro, they want this whole thing about this this LA you said hold on you said LA riots. No, this comes this comes from you. No. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you where this is coming from. I told you. No, I told you. I was gonna dive in. I don't listen to it. I told you that. I don't listen to the right. You do.
I listen to both sides.
No. What I'm saying is you antagonize and listen to the left. Now I must admit, bro, that I did not know that what's the other gentleman? It's not Bannon, but the other guy that's kind of running the information detail for President Trump. He did a couple of things this week where they were asking Trump. But they were asking Trump specifically about this guy, and he had no idea.
Is it Miller? Who you talking? Is it Miller?
Miller. There you go. Yeah. It's Miller. Yeah, it's Stephen Miller. If I'm not mistaken, Stephen Miller, right? Is that his name?
Something like that.
Yeah. That's him. Yeah, that's him. I had no idea. You're like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm like, what? You know, and like we said this already. Me and you already agreed. It's not really him. It's not really Trump. Yeah, it's not really Trump at the beginning of this. These are people that he have enacted, that he trusts, that put ideas in his head about things being a good idea. He has random, fluid movement of thought. So he doesn't really hold on to things. That's why he's so elusive with the media, because he'll say something one day and then the next it'll be like very contradictory. But that's just the way his mind works because he's into so-called business. Literally, that happens from day to day. Depending on what's a better idea, let's go with that then. You know, okay, well, that's better. Oh, let's go with that. And it just, and what I'm saying is that, bro, the people that's in charge with disseminating information, you cannot tell me that Miller, O'Bannon, even to a degree of Tucker Carlson talked to Ted Cruz, and that's what I was telling you about, kind of refreshing him to kind of up his game on the right. Don't talk like in those kind of sense. You need to really elevate yourself to a certain type of thinking. You know, I'm trying to help you out. We can't talk on this kind of level anymore and embarrass ourselves. That's what I saw when you watched that interview. That's what I saw. Because when he was talking to him about, you know, for those that you know, and we talked about Israel and stuff like that. His whole foundation for so-called Israel is not based in what the government actually does for Israel. That's not really the reason why we do it. But he's trying to propagate that falsehood out there like it's believable because that stands in certain circles on the right. And what Tucker Carlson was trying to get him to understand was, hey, look, you don't have to do all that. you could just basically keep it base level and defend your position if that's what you want to do, which is basically what I said that the left does. He's basically trying to elevate Ted Cruz to another level if he wants to basically, I guess, get to the point that they are at where they being real sophisticated with different things. But like I said, I did not know that that they were so deep entrenched into trying to really, really skip the process, not do due process as far as this immigration thing is concerned. They're still, and what's so funny about it, they're still not deporting more people than Biden did. It doesn't make sense. So why
are we talking politics? Or are we talking behind the? I'm trying to catch on to. Are we talking politics, or what runs politics, or the things that are behind it that's pushing out the information?
I'm talking about the politics first. I'm talking about basically digging below the level once we get into what somebody's basically. I'm saying the message that they
Trump's not doing anything illegal.
Didn't say that.
How about that? He's not
Didn't
doing
say
anything
that.
illegal.
Didn't say that.
He is the
Did
president
not say
of
that,
the
bro.
United States.
So what?
That
so fucking what, man? What? So what? He's the president of the United States. What the fuck that mean? You making it seem like no. You making it seem like he got carte blanche. No. You know how this works. So you want to go deep. So you want to go deeper into it. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to go there.
Ask Gaddafi about so what?
Oh no, man. No, see that's what I'm saying. That's too. See that's too far. That's too far because what you going well next week if he keeps his promise.
Hold on. Right now? You in an empire.
Okay then. We'll stand on it.
Right now.
We'll stand on it.
We own it.
That's simple. Just stand on the shit. That's all I'm telling you, bro. If you want to, it's just like I told you last week. Paradox, no, man. Paradox, no. It's just like I told you last week. If you fundamentally want to change, no, fuck that. No, we can divide the pie.
You doing
if you no, listen what I'm saying, bro. No. I told you what this will lead to. This leads to unrest. If you want to fundamentally listen, no. I'm telling you, fundamentally, that's what it does. It has the undercurrent of fundamentally having a situation. No, I'm not. Man, that's bullshit, bro. Who on the left is who on the left is basically saying that about that? Come on now. How? And you're not okay. So if you're gonna go there because correlation doesn't mean that I'm pushing it, bro. Because I like I said, please refer me to the person or the persons that you think that I'm getting this information from. Because I did not listen to anybody on the left. But I don't listen to people on the left like that. I do not.
I got you. But if you run in politics, right? If you run in politics, especially on this scale. You're pushing agendas and you're creating perceptions, right? And you're leveraging politics to get things done. Within politics, me and you both know it requires a level of manipulation. I mean, it's a whole host of tactics you use to drive particular agendas. Are you talking about that part of it, or more of the physical part of the real, more or the outcomes of it all?
I'm talking about the possibility of reworking the framework. Hold on. No.
When California, I can hear you clearly. I'm interrupting you on purpose.
So,
when
California, go ahead.
When California tried to go sue the government, some other states, they tried to appeal it, and the judge ruled in Trump's favor. We can move on, right? It is what it is.
No. First of all, anytime that a governor of a state tell you, anytime a governor of a state tell you, no, we cool, don't worry about it. Don't bring your, you don't need to bring these national troops here.
And the judge said, Trump, you good money. And we can move on, right? It's over. Sorry.
First of all, listen, man.
He made a power move. The courts got involved as they're supposed to.
You cannot sue. trying to sue the president. That's what you're talking about. You cannot sue. You cannot. No. That's what I'm saying. That's to me. That's personal stuff. I'm not talking about that.
Into the details of it.
That's personal. That's not the rule of law, though. What you're talking about, what he got ruled up on, that's not the rule of law. You're not going to try to sue the president. That doesn't make any sense to do that because he's basically out of his jurisdiction. Of course, he has national jurisdiction. He can declare martial law anywhere. Listen, what I'm saying, Paradox. I really want you to really understand what I'm saying to you.
You better go find
and think back. Hold on. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, bro.
You know that, right?
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, though. I really want you to understand.
Loves the federal government breaking.
I don't care. I do not care about that because even when they overextension because like I said, I'm not trying to remain in a silo where the so-called I'm thinking that I'm going to roll with this just because I'm so-called lean to the left on policies and stuff like that. And my point of leaning towards the left is because there was damage done to certain people where they need to be restored. And I think that the government is a better way of doing it because of all the stuff that you're talking about. So the overreach, hold on. You interrupted me. You interrupted me, bro. You interrupted me. No, hold up. No, you hold up for a second. You gotta hold a second. No, you need to hold up for a second. The overreach of somebody putting national troops somewhere where they were not needed is basically wasting government funding. Now, the reason why they put that so-called suit in place is to have that on the record of basically him overreaching. That's it. So that's why I bring it up, man, because like I said, when you build a case against somebody, he has the jurisdiction to put National Guard anywhere at any time. He's the commander in chief. You don't get no higher than that. He is the president. But what I'm saying is, so what? Because his political overreach is still that. He's still politically overreaching. And that causes civil unrest here. That causes civil unrest, Paradox. That causes more of an issue, bro.
We doing politics then. There's no unrest here. No one gives a fuck about this shit. So you want to talk about politics, right? Okay. So you tell me, how the fuck did the Democratic Party kick Joe Biden out of being the fucking president and installing Kamala Harris to run for president? Tell me how that works.
We talked about that already, bro. Why we gonna talk about that? Why we talking about that? We talked about how wrong that was. What point are you making there? What's the point? What's the point of saying that? What's your point of saying that?
My point is that my point is this. I don't necessarily live in those type of spaces in a sense, because I understand that you have laws in place, things can be done where it's a little shady, and we tolerate it as a country, and the outcomes becomes the outcomes. And the shit that the Democratic Party did, and whoever knows whatever the weird stuff that they did to make that happen and not let the people decide, I mean, that's some weird shit to be called a Democrat. I mean, it's weird. But I know that people who really believe in the Democratic Party, not people who are just observing it, may vote that way, but kind of looking at it, people who are actually within that party, they act like it's not a big deal. It's a massive deal of what they did with the Kamala Harris Joe Biden thing. It needs to be heavily investigated. Whatever that was going on, clearly it's
we talked about that. No, we talked about that. We talked about the split.
So my point is this, though. Me and you both know. I know you don't believe in states' rights because you're a Democrat, but
that's not true. That's not no. Hell no, nigga. No, don't do that bullshit. Don't do that. Don't skip it past those. See, you do that. You do that often, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. No. The only reason why I am basically saying so what is because when people go in and they start checking, hold on, listen, man. That's what I'm saying. Because it's going to swing. Because it's going, because you know, just like I know that this swings both ways. So when you're being told what to do nationally, you get told what to do. Hold on. When you get told what to do nationally, and then the people mad that they're not being able to actually do some of the things, and they don't understand why the national government is basically doing this, national government is doing that. Why are they causing this? They need to think back to basically allowing this man to run carte blanche and to show the true extent of the powers of the office of the presidency. The true extent of it. to where you can just be like, I don't really give a fuck. For real, I don't. I don't give a fuck for real. So I can say, hold on. Who said I got to be diplomatic? Oh, no, I'm going there with you. We're gonna go politics. We're gonna go deep. Who said fuck? I got to be diplomatic?
Bro.
I can say whatever. No. Hold on.
You know what's so funny? What you saying though?
Bro. Come on, bro.
Y'all are the same Negroes that had no issue when the federal government went into the South and checked them states in the 1960s. Did you?
That was my point. That's my point about the states' rights thing. Yeah. It is good until it's actually needed because of the overreach of the states. What, we're going to just allow the states to just basically ignore an actual order? You can't segregate schools. That's not the law of the land. Technically, it is not the law of the land, bro. But they're saying, fuck that states' right. Hold on. Fuck that states' rights. We can run it. We can run it the way we want to run it. Hold on. Let me run on it. Come on, man. See, that's what I'm saying. No. That's so you don't think that's a bipartisan issue? You think that got something to do with it being Democrat or Republican? Are you fucking serious, man?
I'm on the right.
I don't care. It don't matter if you're on the right or if you're on the left. It's a problem. It's just like the economy. It's just like the economy. Democrats didn't say nothing when basically we was the one pushing the tariffs the most, and basically Reagan was the one saying tariffs are bad. You see what I'm saying? Then what? When Trump gets in office and he announces it like a dumbass, because people don't announce tariffs. You don't talk about tariffs in the news like that. But like I said, fuck diplomacy, right? Fuck diplomacy. This is what I'm saying about the president running it up.
It's a style.
Hold on, man. Hold on now. We talking politics, though. We talking politics. Right? We talking politics. Well, whatever.
Politics.
He is a one. But see, he's a one-on-one. You know this. He's a one-on-one. You think what's one man that's up?
Many great presidents are one-on-ones. Barack Obama's a one-on-one. What are we talking about right now? Reagan's a one-on-one.
But you talking about you hate that motherfucker. You say you hate You say you hate President Obama.
Whoa.
You say you hate the motherfucker. That's what you told me.
Oh, that's crazy. That's a crazy statement. I don't hate that shit. What you just said is crazy. Just you don't think it's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I may have got a little
crazy.
I may have got a little ahead of my speed. But anyway, hold on.
No, we're gonna clarify this though. We're gonna clarify this. But Barack Obama is I would argue for the most part a centrist Democrat. He does have some far leftist things that they was, of course we know that politicians are paid by different groups of people, and he has to satisfy a lot of people. And so he installed some far more leftist things, obviously, but he's relatively a centrist Democrat. And he did some things I didn't like, obviously, but he's a Democrat. He's going to do things I don't like. And so, and that's okay. But as far as, and I have many issues with him, but I would never use the word hate. That's crazy, though. That's crazy. I mean, he pushed some agenda. He pushed some agendas.
So
that we're still doing right now. And again, depends. Like I said, everybody, individual people, we all have our. I don't work for the Republicans, and you don't work for the Democrats. So we can say what we want to say, right? So my point is this: the thing is that when things change. Politics change all the time. Democrats, Republicans, things change. Things move in different directions. And the thing is this: with wasn't
the thing that made you the most mad is that he wasn't loud about the things that he was doing? See, you'll get some black. That's what I'm saying. You'll get some black.
I would say this. I know what he is. Okay, I know who he is based off his actual actions, knowing what he is. Now the thing is that when you're running but same with Trump and the MAGA. I think I might be almost MAGA at this point, which is kind of weird. But with Trump, I would say this.
No, you ain't no MAGA, bro.
Well, I want to be libertarian, really, but that's a different conversation. But anyway, my point.
A libertarian.
My point is this, though.
My
point is this, though. Listen to me, though.
This is crazy, man. That's what, and that right there. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that these motherfuckers don't. They do not. I'm telling you, bro, they think fundamentally the way this country, this libertarian, they think fundamentally the way this country was even enacted was wrong.
Yeah, I know.
That's the whole base. They do not. They believe basically they don't care. They're like, yeah, round them up. Fuck it. No protest. I mean, I get it. I get it, bro. But that's not the rule of law here. That's not this country. And you can't make it all right for one side and not make it all right for the other side. That's the reason why. That's the reason. Hold on. That's the reason why the freedom of speech got y'all crossed up. Because here's the thing. Oh, it's all right when I say it. It's all right when I do it. Who's the rapper from Memphis? All right when I do it, but it ain't all right when you do it. Look, what the fuck? Are you serious now?
You know what's so funny? That literally is politics, by the way. That literally.
It is literally, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't go. That's why I don't talk about immigration like it's a left or right issue. That's a fucking American problem that we're both complicit with. We're complicit. We're complicit. Okay, you tell me. If Joe, hold on. No. Let me make this point, and I'm gonna let you run. If immigration, if it's a known fact that Joe Biden, even at this moment in his presidency, has still deported more people than President Trump, what the fuck are you out here on the streets for? If that is the case, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they have used this. That's what I'm saying. They have used this to activate people. When it was still being done, they act like this shit wasn't being done when Joe wasn't out. Oh, you letting everybody in? No, that's not true. That's not true, bro. That is not true.
That's very
true. You know that paradox. You know that, bro. During COVID, hold on.
I'm in position here.
So now we're gonna play politics. Okay, go ahead, man. You defend it. You give me the numbers. You defend it with numbers. Then defend it with numbers. Defend it with data. Defend it with data.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. I got you. I got the numbers. I got you. Under Joe Biden, we know that a lot of folks came across the border a month, 50,000 a month, the whole time he was here. So we have a lot of people here who shouldn't be here. But I got you. He also deported people, and it balances itself out in some kind of weird way. I got you. And same with Obama, and on and on and on, right? And I don't want to concede some points, but it's more fun to have that conversation than what I was actually going to say. So me and you both know, we go back to this all the time, is that the Republicans and Democrats do not want to pass an immigration bill, a comprehensive immigration bill. So Thank
you. Okay, great.
Now, this is like you said, the complexity for this particular president, because he is all over the place, is he's getting phone, as you both, as we know, he's getting phone calls.
Right. Hold on. Right now they're talking to him. Right now, you know this. Miller, O'Bannon, on freeway. Look, get so and so up out of here. Pete actually ain't gonna make it. Pete gotta go. Let me just say this. This is what I noticed. His operatives, the people that are real close to him, he ain't even appointed them to nothing. The people that really got his ear, these people that you like, the O'Bannons and all these people, like O'Bannon calls him up, and he can literally put an idea in the president's head.
First of all, Steve Bannon is a jewel in this country. So I'm gonna hold him for him. We're gonna put him to the side for us. I know you don't maybe not like Steve, but Steve is the man in my opinion. But anyway,
I don't fuck with anti-American people. They don't want me here in this country.
What you saying is ridiculous.
I could prove that. I got plenty of proof of that. No proof of that. I got proof of that. Steve O'Bannon.
Now, let me just one comment in the little comment thing here. I'm happy to look at. Newsom would never be a fucking hero, so I'm gonna leave that there. But anyway,
who brought up Newsom?
I whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But anyway, my point is this. Me and you both know, because I'm going to move back and forth from politics to realities. I'm going to go back and forth. I would just say this. Me and you both know immigration is very it's complicated.
Very complicated. Extremely complicated.
Right. And you have, and now, when we look at the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, we both know that there's different groups in those parties. So we have to be careful because people are in different groups and they're pulling,
Exactly right.
they're pulling and pushing,
Mhm.
requesting and asking. They're asking and
Right.
requesting, and they're
Right.
paid. And so you know, with with immigration, I think that America has, me and you both know, America has relied on labor, on a lot of the hard labor. And if you try to go after labor, it is no really, like you said, it's really no different than anything. If you try to go after corporations, if you try to go
Yeah.
after anything where people are making money,
Yeah.
you're gonna deal with some bullshit left or right,
And
right?
would you please tell me who works in these Tyson factories, these Oscar Mayer factories in
Everything,
Alabama,
hotels, everything.
Mississippi?
Everything,
No, I mean,
everything,
I'm just saying, like,
everything.
I'm talking about in the red. I'm talking about in the blue.
In
I'm
red
talking about
states,
in the Crimson South,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
Crimson South, bro.
This is okay. So I don't want to get. So we have to be careful here, right? We gotta be we gotta
Forget
be careful.
Texas. I'm saying, I'm gonna be careful, but forget Texas,
We gotta
forget
be
Florida. They're their own
well.
thing. They're their own thing. They're
First of
not.
all,
They're
60.
offshores because they're a financial stronghold to the South. I can't really include them into what we're talking about. So we could go surface level with this, but I'm just saying that the penetrating the food services that are done in this country. See, I had dude, 60 to 70% of the people that they deal with the food markets and stuff like that in these factories and stuff like that are so-called immigrants. And this is known. This is stuff that people know about. People are working with these folks. Even the people that say that they want to still get so-called illegals out the country. I just all I'm asking, Paradox. All I'm asking is for the hypocrisy. If the
Where you go?
hypocrisy,
No,
if
no,
the
no, no.
hypocrisy,
That's
hold
not.
on. If the
No, no,
hypocrisy
it's
on the
not that.
left,
It's
if
not
the
that. It's not
hypocrisy on
that.
the left, hold on. If the hypocrisy on the left needs to be exposed and basically need to be shined light on, then we need to shine the light on the hypocrisy on the right, bro. Period, man. Period. We need to tell the truth about this, man, because you can't just go attacking so-called sky blue cities like Chicago. Like Chicago is the only ones that's harboring illegals. New York City is harboring illegals. Los Angeles harboring illegals. Are you kidding me? Like these three places in particular. It's just, I mean, these people are going to capitulate and make
No,
examples.
I mean
But
the
California
farmers
has a
basically.
whole system. But I'm
Yeah,
saying California has
the
a
red
whole
red
system set
farmers,
up already.
red
All right.
red farm red farmers. You got me all over the place. I was trying to create a pathway, but that's fine. The red farmers
Not today, bro. Not
are
today.
not.
You ran up squad. I gotta come back like Indiana. I gotta come back. I gotta come back like Indiana, bro. I gotta tie this thing up and go to game
That's
7.
right, Game 7, baby. So look, I would say this. The red farmers are not happy. They did put some pressure on Trump in the hotel industry as well. They put some pressure on Trump to say, hey, I understand what you're doing, but don't do X, Y, and Z. Trump came out and made a statement about it. But at the same time, there are large parts of Trump's base that want the pain that's required if you don't have labor. Now, that's one thing. Now, I have listened to experts who discuss immigration in general, specifically for the Western world, in particular for America, right? And a lot of experts believe that America needs a couple of million, maybe 3 million immigrants a year. On paper, we won't talk about illegals for the moment, just on paper, right? And if America decides to do something different, it's very painful. It's a massive shift for a country based off of slavery, conquering, and immigration, right? It's a massive shift to say, okay, after 250 years or after 400 years, we're gonna try to slow the country down, basically, right? Be it H-1B visas or whatever, right? We're gonna try to slow the country down and try to uplift and build America. We know that I would argue with anybody that is going to be a bit of a fantasy if you're not literally, if you're not training and restructuring the entire country, which you're not doing. So, technically speaking, I get the reality of it, right? Politically speaking, though, be it Steve Bannon or whoever, they're we're all in a position where we're like, okay, if you're not legally here, you have to go. It's a messy process, right? It's an emotional process. Americans are based pretty much Americans is based off of feelings, how everybody feel about things. So you show a video of an ICE agent running somebody down who's been here for 15 years, who's been working hard. We know that that's going to drive the narratives in the media. Everybody's going to feel a certain way, or this artificial phony protest. I'm going to pretty much argue that most protests are not real, in my opinion. But these paid for protests by billionaires for the No King's Day, and they're mad at immigration. It's like, well, if I'm on the left and I claim that I care about Jim Crow, I care about slavery, I care about the native people and how they were exterminated, about the African people who were put in chains, about the black people who dealt with Jim Crow, and trying to deal with America and how it treats people. And not only that, but then trying to globalize liberal democracy concepts where we want everybody to be fair, including rights for all people, no matter who you are, what you are. At the same time, just like in history, the Arab nation had to deal with slavery coming out of West Africa and Central Africa as well. Anyway, at the same time, how do we maintain an actual country? Make sure the water's running, make sure people are here to serve you, making sure all the little things, the trash removal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the very basic things to keep nations and keep nations running. They don't want to deal with that. And I think that's where you have a bit of the complexity, I think, because guess what? If you say amnesty on the right, it's a no-go. It's political suicide today. If you say, and on the right, on the left, and I'm on the left, DC, I'm not hearing amnesty, and I'm not hearing the immigration bill. Now, I think we're going to start to hear that language. I would argue maybe in the next probably 6 months, if Trump stays aggressive. And as you both know, Trump numbers plummeted once he closed the border. The border was really running those numbers up for Biden, for all the presidents. It's the border numbers. Since he literally almost pretty much closed the border as far as what they put out or what they report, now he's having a hard time trying to find quote unquote criminals or people who have committed actual violence, not being a criminal by being illegal, and trying to deal with that process. And then there's, like you said, I agree with you. You look at Joe Biden's deportation, I think there may be 3,000 roughly a month, roughly. And I think Trump is about maybe half of that, if not even less than half. And so it forced the immigration people, because of that quota, to start to go after, I guess, labor, illegal labor. Basically, you want to keep it simple, right? Illegal labor. And they're trying to work through that process. So, of course, Trump is saying one thing, he's getting those phone calls, but ICE and the other agencies are saying, nope, we're going full force. If you at Home Depot, we're coming to get you. I know you work here, you don't commit no crimes, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. So there is, like you said, there is a lot of complexity. And of course, it's the Democrats' job politically is to spin everything and to say, this is not right, especially the left. This is not right. You can't treat people like this. This is barbaric. This is fascist. This is Nazi Germany, where you're snitching on where people are. And then, of course, which is why it's like you have the states that have you have states and cities who have the
here's my issue.
Immigration. But you know what's so funny about all of that is that you guys literally endorse exploitation. I think it's hilarious from the left. The left comes off as they're anti-Christ, but holier than thou.
This ain't about the left today, bro.
Protect everybody.
I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that. No. You're changing. You're changing the narrative.
Who believe that
Paradox.
We don't want to mistreat people
anymore. No, I can't let you do it. I can't let you do it. No, I can't let you do it because number one, this is what I was saying. They're the ones that made it. They're the ones that made it public. They're the ones that made it public. It don't have to be a public process. Number one, it can be talked about, but you don't have to have a video shoot or have people there going live with a damn cowboy hat on, talking about we rounding them up, we got them coming. You don't have to do all of that. No. I mean, saying that doing that
It's a
has
powerful
caused
message,
this
bro.
to be an issue. No, that's what I'm saying, man.
DC,
Please,
the Western world, the
please, just
Western
all
world
right, bro. Go
has
ahead.
the Western world. Which what I put it this way, I'm surprised that the left, the far left, even the pro blacky people and all the other shit out here, pro Hispanic people, whatever the fuck they are here talking about. It's shocking to me that there's people on the right who want America to live on its own, to sustain itself, but instead is fighting for exploitation. The Western world has an addiction to cheap labor to try to compete. And instead of sending folks home, and not only sending folks home, but our CIA, our other security agencies need to get away from those countries, right? Not stop toppling governments, right? And let people just be. So there is multiple layers, as you know, to not just American immigration, but to the Western world's immigration, and what they're doing, where you are bankrupting companies with the World Bank, you're going into places and causing chaos, and then those folks in turn end up flooding into Europe or end up flooding into America. So we know what the game is. The people that I follow who are on the right who hate that shit, not all Republicans, but the people that I follow on the right who I support, the mindset is, again, like you said with Tucker Carlson, no new wars. Get out of the Middle East. Get out of Africa. Get out of Asia. Protect the homeland, right? America
protect
first.
The borders. Yeah, protect the borders. I got you.
So what are you talking about then? Is the real
what I'm talking about is hold on. No, I'm glad you asked. So okay, go. No, so you gonna ask me a question you don't want me to answer. You think I want to what am I talking about? I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This and see, I'm glad you went there with the exploitation thing. Yeah, it wasn't right for basically arguing for basically cheap labor to be in this country. That's what you're arguing for when you're trying to allow them to get give them a free card, give them access to where they can basically work for pennies. I agree with all of that. But you know what comes after that, though? You know what comes next after that particular question that you give? Okay, so what's the pathway to citizenship? Because we have a so-called inundated process that takes too long for people. People been waiting. They arrested one guy that went to court. You saw that shit and had it on TV. What you gonna do? The man is showing up to his court hearing. What is the purpose of that? Showing up on his court hearing to get arrested by ICE agents, and these ICE agents are acting under. I mean, dude, it's up. What I'm saying, bro, it's a show. Because if you don't do the same thing, if you're going to just basically play these so-called blue city shenanigans or these what you call sanctuary cities, and don't go to sanctuary states like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, where they have the same cheap. It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. Well, I'm not trying to see the game because I'm saying they're putting it out on foot. They're putting their hypocrisy out on Front Street. It's a hypocrisy paradox. Bruh. You can't point at the left like they're the only ones exploiting cheap labor. It's not true. It's not true, paradox. Because the thing is that you're going to find the same sweat factories in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. I mean, hell, like I said, I'm excluding Texas and Florida because we know what that is. We know what that is.
The bread basket of America and the red parts of California. Bro. I got you.
Okay. All right. Man. California has a whole network set up since Reagan. Reagan was the fucking governor of what was Reagan? Okay, this is why I get frustrated, man. Because all of this type of cheap labor shit and this kind of let them on in here and all that kind of stuff, that kind of shit, that started with a so-called California president. I mean, California's governor, the way that they have their whole system set up of basically skipping the process, having they had a whole neighborhood of illegals, man, that was raised in California. That's what East LA was. These people, man, and some of these people ain't never left California. They always been here. They call them illegal. Like, I'm not illegal, bro. I've been here. I'm not on the books. But California didn't become paradox. What I'm saying, paradox. California become a state until what, 1860 something, 1850 something. Right. I mean,
Right.
come on, man. What are we talking about here? That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff is just
No,
it doesn't.
I don't know
We're
what
not.
you're talking
I'm not.
about because you sound like you sound like
No,
I'm
no, no,
listening to CNN
no,
right now.
no.
I'm
Oh,
just trying
come
to
on, man.
I'm
CNN who?
I'm just trying to
CNN
get you.
who? Everybody that work for CNN,
What
you know,
is
you
your
already know they got a
no.
Substack. They got a Substack and they got a podcast somewhere. Don Lennon, all them
don't think,
people, Joy
look,
Reid,
look,
they're
bro,
all
look,
they're all fired. They're all fired. I don't even know who the new people is, except for pretty ass
that's a whole other
Abby
conversation.
Phillips. Pretty ass Abby Phillips is the only one living. She is a smoke show, man.
That's a whole other conversation.
It's a beautiful black woman right there, man. But I mean, other than Abby Phillips, I don't know who else is there. Right? There's no argument. You want to talk about undisputable fact? That's an undisputable fact, bro. Yeah, she a smoke show. Everybody know it. But other than that, I mean, and the way she tries, as far as what I see, she tries to go straight down the line with it. That's what I see.
Look,
maybe I'm biased.
Hold on.
You think maybe I'm biased? Is she to the left? Is she a lefty?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I would argue that she's on the left. She tries to be just a host of a show.
But I'm saying she's trying though. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't try, bro. So it's better. It's better than them fake ass blondes that's over there on Fox News. Now that's the bullshit. Try watching Fox News for 24 hours. I can't stand Fox News.
Are we debating?
That shit. Fox News. We're going surface. We're going surface. Fox News. Fox News. Fox News. Fox. Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. We're not. Of course they do. Of course they do. Still, Fox News don't try. Fox News don't try. They're a straight propaganda machine. They're a straight propaganda machine. They're a straight propaganda machine.
Okay. I'm going to consider you a very intelligent person. Just put that out there. I'm going to assume that you think I must be fucking stupid.
No, I don't.
Because if you don't think
absolutely not.
If you don't think MSNBC is in the pocket of the former White House and is in the pocket of Democrats, I mean, what are we? It's the same fucking thing. It's 50-50.
No, it's not the same thing.
There is no.
They are though. No. Hold on. They are.
Over the top.
They are.
Come on, bro. We for real.
No. They are. They are a lean. They are a lean left channel. No. MSNBC. Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm just saying, of course, bro. I said, of course. No, they lean. They're not far. They're not far left, bro. They're not far left. There's nothing on the news. There's nothing on the news that's far left. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Fox News is borderline far right. I'm saying they're borderline far right. Yeah, they are, man. They are. Dude, you miss whole snippets, bro. No. Nah, bro. I refuse. Dude, President Trump doesn't even offer. He doesn't even go and speak at CNN or MSNBC. He doesn't speak to any of these people.
Is Fox News in Manhattan?
Period.
Is Fox News in Manhattan?
Say what now?
Is Fox News in Manhattan, New York City?
Yeah, they got a main office in Manhattan. They got a main office here in DC. They got two of them. Hell, they got two. What are you talking about?
The people who you're talking about who work on Fox News, do they live in New York?
New York is to the fullest. Some of the main pundits are from the big city of the NYC. What that means? I don't even know. Right? You are like New York is an extra liberal city. Is New York extra liberal to you?
Fuck yeah.
Is it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Is it really? Paradox, is it really though, bro? Come on, nigga, man. New York is a split city, bro. You know that. Most of those people, you cannot tell the difference between, dude. Okay, well, whatever, man. Whatever. They got weird people. They got weird people that no doubt about it. They're not like LA, bro. Los Angeles is not like New York.
Whoa! Don't do East Coast, West Coast. That's totally different anyway. That's all.
Well, I'm just saying because I'm doing it at the extremes because what happens in Hollywood is totally different than what happens in New York, bro. New York man, you got half of the city that is blue collar to the bone, and a lot of them do vote Democrat, but they are very, very conservative, bruh. Very conservative.
It's not in Mississippi,
bruh.
They're in New York City, bro.
I just admitted
not
that.
in Mississippi.
Their owner stays in New York. He ain't never lived in nowhere down south. I'm trying to basically say the hypocrisy of it all. You're missing my point. But you're missing my point. What are you talking about at this particular point? Because what I'm saying to you is still aligned with it.
I know this. You're not listening to far right people because they're not allowed on Fox News at all. So what are we talking about right now? Shit, are you serious? They can't go on Fox News.
Hold on. I said they lean further right than MSNBC leans further left. I said that. That's what I said. I did not say that they have extreme far right people on there. I say that they lean further right than MSNBC leans further left. That's my point. That's my point. Because it's a propaganda machine daily. They would at least on MSNBC make an attempt to try to have some kind of balance correspondence between both views, even though they lean heavily to the left. But they're not progressives on MSNBC, bro. They are not. They are corporate left-leaning liberals, man. They speak easy.
Yeah, because they keep finding the liberals, the lefties.
But what you will find on Fox, you will see somebody that just got so and so today, and they'll spin it, this illegal getting kidnapped. It's not that's not what happened. Like I said, if somebody's showing up, if somebody if somebody shows up for court, right? Okay. Of course, MSNBC is going to bleed because that's what they're going to do.
Don't go to court. First of all, if you're illegal, don't go to court.
He been going to court, Paradox. He just went to court too. Okay. Well, why would he have the fucking mayor with him then? The mayor run up. This is in New York City, which is a blue collar. That's what I'm saying. Like, these people are blue collar. He's sitting up there. He got his hand on his shoulder talking about we need to pay these people more money. That's why they want to do that. That's why I said the other side of that is paying them more money. Nobody wants to do that. Let's not be disingenuous here. Nobody wants to do that, and that includes the left-leaning liberal, which is hypocrisy at its finest. I'm not trying to obfuscate them, bruh. But you cannot lean heavily on the cities and don't lean heavily on these so-called crimson states. You cannot do it.
Hold on. You do politics, right?
I try, man.
So you telling me this, right? Give me one group of people on the left who's against immigration.
One person on the left that's against immigration?
Yeah. It doesn't exist.
I would say no. There is nuance. No, there's nuance. Bullshit. There's nuance to it. There's nuance to it because there are people. Bullshit. Okay, so would you consider Eric Adams? Would you consider the former mayor of New York? You consider him to be liberal? He's a Democrat. Okay, then. So you think you think that what he said about immigration doesn't align more so with the conservative right than it does so-called liberal people? They came down hard on him basically supporting. They came hard down on him basically supporting the ICE agents in New York, right? They came down hard on him, right? I'm asking you a question. Is that true or that's not true? Didn't the left attack him? You tell me to name somebody. Didn't the left attack him because of his immigration policy?
And that's the name you picked?
Yeah, that's just one of the names I can pick, man. But I'm just saying it's not very often. I agree. It's not very often. Hold on. It's not very often because most people that are Democrats are going to say that they want to write some kind of legislation in place. But there's nuance. There's nuance. No, bro. That's false, bro. That's a falsehood. That is not true. That is not true. Wow. If you want to run it up, man, I can go to Gretchen, the one that there's so many governors, man. There's so many governors, bro, that are very conservative. That are Democrat, by the way. Democrat, by the way, bro.
I don't honestly, they individually speaking, they might be whatever they are, but their donors and their handlers are something different. And when Eric Adams, and again, I would argue that's a much more complex conversation because we understand what he was dealing with. I'm a fan of Eric Adams, but at the same time, what he was dealing with is why his politics are the way they are today. We understand that. But generally speaking, when you're dealing with progressives or leftists or centrists for that matter, this fucking point, at least as far as where we are today, they are going to be pretty quiet on really how to truly deal with immigration. And it's a reason why they couldn't, even 30 years ago, even when Obama and Hillary was talking about deporting everybody, it's a reason why. I think we both agree there's a reason why neither side will come together and do a comprehensive immigration bill, which includes citizenship and basically amnesty to keep it fucking.
Yes, that's the word. Hold on, that's the word. The path to citizenship. Yeah. Because see, that's where everybody gets crossed up because states don't want to be overran by them. And see, the thing is that you would change the demographic of the South because guess what? A lot of this, if you really count the illegals, I swear, bro. Because like I have went to South Carolina. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Some of these places they have so many. They don't even know how. It's so many Spanish people there, dude. That if you count the real numbers in the South, man, and some of the so-called illegals that are down there, man, they will probably be upwards to like 10 to 15% of some of these states, bro. Like literally for the people that actually live, there. Not no 2 to 3% Hispanic or Latino or whatever the case may be. Hell no. It's way too many. Way too. It doesn't even go into school. They're in the schools. They are actually in so-called black schools, white schools. They are everywhere. They are so intricate, such an intricate part of this country, so interwoven into this country now that this shit got ran up by Reagan, by the way, with that whole by Reagan, by the way, bruh. That's his shit. That was his shit. That amnesty clause and all that kind of shit that never got off the books. He opened that door, and that shit was the floodgates. It just got ran up.
They make mistakes. They get greedy. They get selfish. I got you.
Right. Remember Wall Street? Remember Wall Street with Kirk Douglas and them? You remember that whole thing? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying, bro.
And look, but listen to me.
Come on, man.
But if you have a part of
hold on, Paradise. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that we really have counted the true number of Hispanics in this country, Latinos, people that are really got the real? Come on, bro.
No, I would say there's 60 million here who are legal, who've been here, born here, whatever.
I'm saying they have children here. I'm saying everything, all children, everything. You know what I'm saying? Not citizens though. They're not citizens at all.
I got you.
Not on the books. Okay.
My number is 20. Maybe even 30 million, plus another, 4 or 5 million from all over the world is here as well. I don't want to, overly focus on just Latino people because there's people from all of the world who are here illegally. And so, everybody can get it really, but you're right. The specifically the Spanish population, really the Mexican population, probably more than anything. It's going to be It's going to be complicated because
they're Americans, bro. Since Reagan, you got to give them. That's what I'm saying. To speed, I'm saying Paradise to speed. Yeah, but you got to concede to speed up the process. You have children here. You've been here 20 years. You have to speed up the process. If you want to make them
amnesty, they got to go.
If you got to pick one. Well, okay, then stand on it. No. My own. Go ahead.
No, you're not being honest. You're not.
I am. I so much am. I am because I'm asking you. I'm asking you guys because you know what? Democrats are doing a crime. Democrats are doing your work. Hold on. Democrats are doing you guys' work. They're doing your work for you. And the thing is, there's something all to blame when it should be in reverse. This is bullshit. I'm not going to sit up here and defend you while I'm sitting up here doing all the stealing for you. That's bullshit, bro. That's crazy.
That's a fact.
This ain't the Godfather of Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I'm running up all the Ducci in Harlem, making the Italians all the bread, and y'all don't have to see this shit. That's bullshit.
The Democrats.
No. What I want a full investigation. If we're gonna do a full, let's run it up, bro. Let's do it. Run that shit. Run it. Because you know why? You know why Trump slowed down? Hold on. The food. Yeah, he came out. Hold on now. The food services. These are good people. These are good folks. Yeah.
He said he's in a trap. He's in a trap.
Yeah, he's in a trap.
I ain't gonna fight you.
Because guess what? We got a Trump. We got a Trump fucking hotels over there by BLM, by when they broke it down and all that kind of shit. And you think that place don't got full of illegals working up in there? Let's run it up. Let's run it up. Oh no. These are good people. No, you focus on the criminals then. No, what shit? Trump, and Steve Miller, like what shit? You said it earlier. No, Paradox, this is what I want to tell you. You said it earlier. The true believers, the anti-American righties, them motherfuckers these motherfuckers that can't forgive the Civil War. These motherfuckers, my granddaddy, that motherfucker, them people, them folks, they can't let it go. They can't let it go. They can't move forward, right? Those folks that want to be like, no, we need to have a hard stop. Just deport all of them, right? We don't care about your money. But Trump ain't like that. Trump like, no, hold on. I'm saying, but this is where people get mixed up. That's what I'm saying. The people that he got in place or that he trusts or that he listens to on a regular basis, he disagree with them all the time. We have seen it. How long? We talked about how long Elon Musk lasts. He didn't even last as long as we thought. I thought it would be 6 months. He couldn't even make it 6 months because he's a fucking liberal. He's a liberal. People got to understand that he's not a conservative. He believed in government spending. He believed in government spending for his particular what he believes in, bruh, is basically putting the money into the proper use. He's what I call the ultra conservative lib that has. It will be like Mark Cuban kind of sitting on the opposite of what Mark Cuban is, kind of like that, not having that kind of empathy. He don't have empathy for people, so he don't give a fuck at the end of the day, as long as his interests are basically aligned with you. So I don't want to go extra hard on this, but I'm saying, bro, if you want to become authoritarian, then don't get mad when people call you on it. I don't care, but it hold on, no, it tracks because you skip. You know why it tracks? Hold on, you know why it tracks? You know why it tracks? It's because you're skipping the process. Okay, then. Well, then they cool. Okay, cool. Let's clean it out. We know where they at. Hold on, you remember Untouchables? Yeah. When we was talking about all the liquor, you know how the liquor system ran in Chicago, people were going, man, motherfuckers were working for the government. That's basically trying to stop prohibition, getting drink at bars. Tell me how that worked, Paradox. Tell me how that works. You spend your day basically trying to lock up people that you get. Right. What you think a speakeasy is? What you think a speakeasy is, bruh? I'm talking about dude. Who drank more than the police officers in Chicago in the 20s and the 30s, bruh? During prohibition. I'm just saying, man, this is bullshit. And then you have the nerve. That's why Sean Connery. Hold on. What did Sean Connery tell him? Did Sean Connery tell him? He walked right across the street. This motherfucker left they off. He said, man, everybody knows where it's at. He got this motherfucker. I'm gonna walk right. Hold on, bro. Like, listen, bro. You talking this shit? You from Iowa or Wyoming, whatever the fuck. We're gonna walk across the street. I'm gonna show you how this works, bro. Everybody knows what's going on. When it comes to immigration, you see it all the time, bro. You see it every day. You see it every day.
Why you are a person that believes in racial stuff, and you believe in the person who gets treated the worst should get some help, right? America,
the people that has been systematically treated the worst should get the most help.
I'm letting you cook. I'm letting you cook. You're ranting. You're cooking. I would just say this though. You cannot have it's a contradiction. You cannot have these philosophies where you want people not to be exploited because you're anti-capitalist, you're anti-American. You don't want
you're too far. I'm not anti-American. I am anti-capitalist because I think anti-capitalism feeds. I think it feeds. I just said what I said.
If you're pro-black,
I'm not anti-American because you know why I'm not anti-American? It's because if you live by the true letter of the law, man, it would eliminate a lot of this bullshit that we got. Not perfect. but it would eliminate a lot of the bullshit that we basically go through in this country.
If you're pro-black, you're anti-American. But anyway,
That doesn't. No, that's not the same thing.
I would just that's the
It's not the same
definition.
thing.
But I got you. You're a communist. You're you're a socialist. Whatever.
No.
We'll leave that. We'll put it to the.
Do we have a post office? Do we have a post office? Do we have a mail delivery system? Do we have a police department? We have police. We have over 1,000 jurisdictions of police departments. Hell, we already talked about the fucking military National Guard to sit there and on call in every state. Every state, Paradox. That's separate. That's separate from the police. I'm saying, but they're separate from the police departments. They don't give me that socialism. Communist. Don't do that. That's nonsense. There's no communist. There's no communist country that has the full extent of the law, the law and the armed forces that we do in this country. It's not even the same.
But you don't believe.
They don't even have police departments that have the reach that we do. It's not the same.
Look, if you're on the left, there's things that you just don't believe in, and it is what it is. You don't got it. It's nothing to defend. It's just what it is. It's just facts.
All right. Go ahead.
You know, you want to take my shit and give it to somebody else. But anyway, I would just say this. If you are in America, within the Republican Party, same in the Democratic Party, there's people who want to exploit people all over the world. There are groups within both parties who do not want that. And the approach is the approach, right? You approach the way you approach it. And from the right's perspective, the groups on the right who want to shut it down, Trump did one part. He shut the borders down. It went from 60,000 a month to pretty much zero. As far as what they report, you know, that number I don't believe is zero, but you know, we'll go with it, right? We'll just say zero. Okay, so now we got to deal with people who are in the country. And if you do not want to exploit people on the left, then they need to figure out a way when they get in power in about 20 months to introduce an amnesty bill to amnesty everybody. But if we're not going to amnesty people, then they have to get out of the country because they're being taken advantage of. They're being exploited. They're basically slave labor. Now, if you're on the left and you claim that you care about black people, you care about slavery, you care about Jim Crow, you care about what's happening to Gaza, you care about the Uyghurs, you care about what's happening in Africa, and on and on and on and on and on. You care about all those things. Then the last place that should have exploitation, especially when you got the left talking about Foxconn and their people are working to death making iPhones, right? If you truly care about the environment, about turtles and dolphins and plastic and all this other bullshit that they push out from the left and all that fake green bullshit, if you really truly believe in that, you literally should not have people that's not on the books. It's like, bruh, we want you here. We do need labor, but we got to get you guys in here legally, or we need to amnesty you guys. And remember something, Obama had full control of the White House and Congress, the same as Joe Biden for a certain amount of time. You need to say, you know what? But see, this is the problem on the left. If I legalize you all, we got to treat you right.
Mm-hmm.
The left.
I agree.
The right is cold.
Oh, come on. No, you're not cold-blooded because you don't stand on it. No. You don't want to be called. You don't want to be called a thing. You don't want to be called a thing. You want to hide and say that you're American. You're not American. You're not American. You want to be an authoritarian government or a so-called democratic. Like you want you want the rule of law to. You want the rule of law to run. You don't want, you protest longer than 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You need to get up out of here. And that needs to be the new law of the land. It's our way. You can sit here, you can send your complaints, you can send your complaints in a better way.
Well, no, our way. There's one thing that play. Same thing with the war in Iran, right? I mean, the war, we're in a war, we're in a fresh war right now, I guess. But the same thing with the war. When you have AIPAC and other political groups who have, Christian groups and everybody else who has a lot of influence in the American government, and even in the Western world as a whole, and you're trying to attack, Persians, Arabs, Shiites, whatever you want to call them, and you want to go after people, and we know it's complicated. And, it's not like all the Democrats are coming out saying we're not going to go to war, right? We're not getting that, right? And so it's complicated. So we know even with immigration or international policies, it's a lot of things that are moving within each party. Me and you both know that.
Now I want to separate when it comes down to this, because this is why I think the white people are not confused about. there's a such thing I would call there's a political party that is the most strongest party here in this, and they're not Democrat, they're not Republican. I would just say that they're called white people, or they're basically people that's classified as white. That's a whole different thing.
You making that up?
So those people, no, I'm not making that up. Those people,
Everybody
those
involved.
people,
That's bullshit.
those.
Bullshit.
I just said, hold on. I'm just trying to give you an illustration
so is
on.
China
You just
white?
said
What you talking
the
about right now?
Democrats. You just said the
Pakistani
Democrats are
white?
not really.
What are you talking
You
about?
just said because
We're
most of those
globalized.
people,
We're
most of those
globalized.
people that
Everyone
support,
has a political position
most of those
to play
people
here.
that support
The
blindly in this.
United Nations is not
Dude,
mostly
if you
white.
run,
You know that, right?
if you run a demographic, no. If you run a demographic check in this country,
International
bro,
law is
when it
not
comes down to
mostly white.
military,
What
I'm
are we
telling
talking
you,
about
bro,
right now?
they would align very strongly on on the racial lens, bro. Trust me. Most white people in this country
America's a mixed
are
country.
military
What are you talking
forward.
about?
Okay, then I'm sitting up
talking
there
about?
saying that they will align when it comes down to the military. So
Not Poland,
any
bro.
action,
What are we talking about right now?
any action that's taking place, most of your dissenters, most of the people that's going to be making
Are
the
you
most
talking?
loud
Are you talking
noise.
about? But are you talking about protecting the Western world that we live in, that we're a part of, that we live off of? I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
I'm separating whatever the conflict is, and I'm just saying, regardless of whether we are basically justified or unjustified in the actual military action that we're about to enact, that white people overall would defend this country. Full stop. It
So
don't
you
matter
telling
the
me
party,
that?
bro.
So you telling
That's
me
what
that
I'm telling you.
So you telling
I'm
me
saying that black people have more of a nuanced
supporting
view.
something else?
Black
What?
people have
No,
more of a
bullshit.
nuanced view.
That's
Black
bullshit,
people
bro.
have more of a nuanced view. I
Bullshit.
guarantee you, bro. Okay then. So when you run the data, run the data. When they run the numbers and they run the data and they do the numbers on this,
we're not
bruh,
generals and colonels and lieutenant colonels.
I just said it's more nuanced. I know plenty of people that's in the military, man, that's black, that support this country, but they know what they're doing is not right. And they don't just go in it blindly. They do their duty.
So what?
They do their duty.
Ain't
It's
no
not
right
the
and wrong,
same
motherfucker.
thing.
It's empire. What are you talking about right now? What are you talking about?
I just
right and wrong?
told
What are
you.
you talking about?
I just told you that is a nuanced view from a black perspective. But it is a racial perspective when it comes down to the military. It is a racial perspective when it comes down to the military. Yes, it is, Paradox.
Hold up. So
there's a difference when a black man serves in the military than a white man serving in the military.
Fuck that. So you tell
that's
me
not true. That's not true.
In your work, a brown man.
I'm not. No. I'm not talking about combating arms. I'm not even talking about in support of the country. You telling me? No. Hold no. See, don't conflict. Don't prescribe what I'm saying, bro. Don't prescribe what I'm saying. No, hell no. No. This is what I'm saying to you. No, this is what I'm saying to you. I'm saying that when black people go into the military, they have a different viewpoint of why they're serving than what white people do. Even though they serve at the behest of this particular country at the same rate. Dude, I'm telling you, it's not bullshit. It is not bullshit, bro. No, it's not. If you take it from the complexity, dude, even from Cole, I don't care who it is. Colin Powell, dude, I don't care who it is. From the highest level in the government, from Colin Powell, they will tell you there is a difference. They would tell you that there is a difference between them serving and then white people serving. What I'm telling you is that our lens. This is what I'm talking about. No.
Bullshit.
That's separate. That is separate. We are Americans. Paradox, we're Americans. Paradox, we're Americans, bro. Paradox, we are Americans. Full stop. I'm telling you, though, even though we are Americans, we have a different view on the military than white people do.
Were you recruited?
Dude, absolutely.
Okay.
Fuck it, I had to go just like everybody else to the DMV and do the whole federal signing thing. I took the whole test.
Hold up.
You remember in the 90s when they gave us tests? I took the fucking test for it.
I got you. We're gonna walk. I want to walk me through this since you're a black person. So you're telling me when they recruited you, and what was your thinking? What were you thinking when they recruited you? What was your thinking? You was thinking what versus a white person exactly from the trailer parks in West Virginia? What were you thinking? Hello?
You talking about me personally, right? You talking about me personally, right? I'm saying me personally. No. Me personally, I don't even think because I always looked at things from a racial perspective. I always looked at it as being compromised.
Very problematic.
Even when they recruited me. Yeah, I did. I looked at it basically because I know everybody in my family that have served. You gotta remember, I have an uncle, grandfather, all of them served for this country.
I got you.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, and they have talked to me about the military. I have heard them talk to me about it. And that there is a difference between white servicemen and black servicemen. If there wasn't a difference, it wouldn't have been, dude. If it wasn't, dude, I'm talking about the perspective of being a black soldier. You telling me there's no difference?
So you talking about something
else?
You
know that, Paradise. Come on, man. Don't do this. Nah, man. I'm not gonna argue with you about this. I'm not gonna have no argument. I have no 15 because you sitting up here trying to make it seem like we got the same ideas that the fucking people from Iowa or Minnesota do. When you coming from a so-called inner city America, and you decide to serve in this country, that's bullshit. Yeah, we Americans. We fight for this country. We die for this country. Of course we do.
So what's the nuance?
No, me and you, give me the nuance. Paradox. What did I say? I remember. Hold on. I remember 2 years ago. I said, man, are we any better? No, you remember when I asked you that? I said, man, are we any better than any of these people? Because maybe we not. Dude, that's too far. But what I'm saying is, I'm just basically what I said to you.
Push the envelope.
But I had my issues with it. You know that. I had my issues, bruh.
Right. So you mean?
And I talked to you about it.
So you
that's what I'm saying. But everybody ain't like me though.
Nah.
Sorry, bro.
You talk about a person at a young age who is informed versus unless you have, of course, you a lot of people have high IQs, but you're saying that people are joining the military for different reasons. No argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Are the different reasons racially? I don't know about that part. Are the different
I did not say that. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That is not what I said. No. That is not. No, that's not what I said. No, Paradox. Not what I said, bro. No. That's not what I said. I'm gonna be real specific. Okay. I'm gonna be real specific. It's just like being a black police officer, black military man. It doesn't matter how far up or down the chain you go. There is a difference between you serving and being.
What are you talking about?
Whatever, bro.
How people feel and how they treat it, right?
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about the real daily effects of how people are either treating you by reacting to you.
Fine. Let me give you a scenario. Let me give you a scenario then. Let me give you a scenario.
Please do. Please tell me how it's not the same.
I'll give you a scenario. If China invades America tomorrow, what's
that's
your
not
racial
that's
position?
not the same thing.
What's your racial position on that?
It's fuck China. That's got nothing to do with race.
White civilization like some dumbass in the comments just said? Or what are you protecting exactly?
No. I'm protecting my family. I'm protecting America.
What
I just said we Americans, full stop. I'm saying
you Negroes ain't American. You Negroes should need to lead our country. That's what it sounds like.
That's so
it sounds like a lot of black folks
now I understand. So now it makes sense. So now this is you want people to defend the country the way you want people to defend your country. Now this got nothing to do with you.
Right.
See, that's what's wrong with you guys. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with the libertarian view and all that. No, you want people to be all flag, all guns all the time. No, I don't have to share your belief.
No,
but see, that's what I'm saying. But I'm gonna still pull you out the bunker. You can't take me out. You can't take it in blood. No. See, it's the same shit. It's the same shit I told you about. It's the same shit I told you about. It's the same shit I told you about. No. Fuck that. No.
From the left.
Listen. First of all, we talked about what it would take to conquer this country. We talk about that, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So but nobody wants that. But nobody wants that, including the country that's trying to take over this country. Nobody wants that. They want this now. People that like I told you, there are certain people in this country. If they cannot run the country the way they want to run the country, they rather the country fall apart and be destroyed.
So I think those people are
on the right. I think those people are on the right, bro. I think those people are on the right. I really do believe that. I believe that, bro. I believe those people. I believe those people would try to. I believe those people would try to actually try to take over the government. I really do believe that, bro. Dude, did you just see what they just did? Oh no, did you? Okay. So what?
You know what you're talking about.
See, I didn't want to bring this up. I didn't want to bring this up because I know you're gonna dig into the so-called conspiratorial. So you think what happened? You think what happened? You know what I'm about to say though, right? So even if you think that was basically some setup, like I said, like some kind of political setup, political theater, right? The point still remains is who is being activated. That's what you don't understand, Paradox. It's who's being activated at the end of the day, bro. It's who's being activated. I don't care. It's who's being activated. When you do
race to exploit black people.
No. See, that's bullshit because the left at the end of the day, bro. This what I don't like. This what I don't like. You know what I don't like? You know what I don't like, bro? No. You know what I don't really like, bro? I don't like that these white guys, right, on the left act like they're soft as shit. But really, they're the ones basically running the score up on these dudes on the right. They punk them at no end. It really is the opposite view. You really think it's one way, but it's really the other way. It's really the other way. It's really the other way, bro. I'm just saying. This is what I'm saying.
We own the Congress.
I really want
the Supreme Court, and we own the White House.
Hold on. So be who you are. Then run it up. Say we want the country to fundamentally. We want the country to fundamentally change. Fuck the Constitution. Fuck the Constitution then. Fuck the Constitution then. No. Don't try to act like you're gonna go by constitutional law. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, though, bro. I really want you to understand what I'm saying to you. I really want you to understand what I'm saying to you, bro. If the Constitution don't mean nothing, then you need to rewrite. You need to rewrite the document, or you need to enact the new Bill of Rights. Rewrite the document or enact the new Bill of Rights or amendments.
Everything's fine, bro.
When it comes down to due process, because you can't skip the process. You can't skip the process. No, I haven't been left for too long. It's always been in me. I'm always going to fight for our people because our people basically deserve the most justice. So I'm always going to do that. I'm always going to do that because our people that are here, I'm talking about black people, bro. I'm still living in the racial lens. I'm talking about black folks, black men in particular. Well, good luck with it. That's cool. I know I'm American. I know I have limitations. I have limitations to it. But if you're telling me where I choose to have a voice in, and I could basically still be basically I could be basically in agreement and in disagreement, and I could say that shit, and I could still be heard. That's on the left side of the argument, bro. No, that's on the left side, bro. That's not on the right. The right is isolationist. If you don't live that way and you don't capitulate to their view, okay. Let's. Can you do me a favor? Do me a favor, bro. Do me a favor. It's slander, right? Do me a favor. Let's play. Oh my God! Why not? Let's talk about what these dudes on the right say. Come on, man.
That's crazy. Hell no. No videos. Fuck that.
Well, let's open up. I'm pretty sure. Let's open up. Let's open up the.
I don't want to hear from them motherfuckers. I don't want to hear from them. I'm fuck them. Fuck the comment. I'm good. You don't need no help. I don't need no help. I can send them home. I'm good.
This is
what video you want to play? I got you. I'm fucking with you.
I want Ted Cruz.
Okay. Well, here we go.
And Tucker Carlson. We can play that for the first 5 minutes. And you tell me what it is. You tell me what you telling me what these two guys, right? These two guys. Now remember, we're caveating the conversation. He's doing it in real time to make an example of him. He know who he has in front of him.
I'm about to put it right now. I just want to be clear though. Just get this on the record. As a black male heterosexual American, I just want to get this true. So one of your strongest positions is that the left allows you to exist and see, and they see you, right?
No. Not all the words see you and all that. No. I stopped you. No, I said that you can have that voice and is not actually necessarily muted. There are plenty of black men that talk shit about the Democratic Party. From a left
Bullshit.
perspective.
Where they at?
From the
Where they
left
at?
perspective.
I don't know
Are
where
you
they at.
serious,
That's
bro?
bullshit. It's all fake.
Come
That's
on,
bullshit.
dog. That dude that one of the
They
guys
not
that's the mayor that's the small town in the South. I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about? I think his name is Mark. He used to be on the
Tennessee,
on the Turks. On the Turks. No, he's not. He's in North Carolina.
The guy on the Turks.
Yeah, I think his name is Mark. Yeah, the Young Turks. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he speaks very balanced on the view, and he's on the left, firmly on the left. But he talks. No, bro, it's not far left, bro. I would not say he's far left, bro. No, I would not say that. He is not on that. He's not on Jared Ball and all that kind of tip of that fake revolutionary type shit where it don't go nowhere. He's not on that. No. He's a politician. How could it be far? How could it be close enough when he's telling people to vote?
My bad. No, my bad. I'm talking about somebody else then. You said he's on the Young Turks?
He was on the Young Turks. He was on Rebel HQ. I forgot his name, bro. His name. You know what I'm talking about. He has like a gray beard and everything. He's a black dude. He went in on Jenkins then about them basically how they talk shit. Yeah. When they were talking shit about trying to join up and try to kind of capitulate to the right and stuff like that and bend over for the right and all that kind of shit. He's the one that kind of like went his own way. I think his name is Mark. I think his first name is Mark. I don't know.
Did he quit?
Did he quit? Yeah, he quit right there. Yeah, he was on Benjamin, the other dude,
Benjamin Dixon,
the preacher guy. Yeah, Benjamin Dixon. Him and Benjamin Dixon are real cool.
You got me all twisted up. You talking about my man he's a mayor down in like Carolina somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so what are you talking about, bro?
I'm talking about the guy who works there.
He can't exist on the right. That's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like you got this. You see, yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like somebody we would hang out with. Right. Yeah, like somebody we would hang out with. See, that's what I'm saying. Dude, we're not gonna hang out with the motherfuckers on the right. You ain't either. That's the funny part. You're just gonna be over there complaining to us about some bullshit about the left. That's what you're gonna do. You gonna talk shit to us. You gonna talk shit about us.
Wow.
You gonna talk shit to us about the left, bruh. And that's what I'm saying because hold on. Who over there on the right? Who over there? Okay, who over there? No. I'm Paradox. I really am asking this question. Hold on, I'm really asking this question though, bro. Who on the right is representing that to where you could basically see them as basically still kind of like standing in that gap to where they don't capitulate to the foolishness, but they still kind of center in the right as far as ideology and everything.
Yeah, but I think you might be confused. I mean, I don't think you're confused at all. Actually, you're trying to be funny. Actually, but me as Paradox, I stand on my own with my politics. My politics happen to be on the right, but trying to be talking to people and cool with people and who I can talk to, that shit don't mean nothing to me. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Because my views are my views, and the thing is that when you have complex views, it may be a challenge on the left or the right because politics are always changing. Things are always changing. And so when you have very aggressive views and you're very hard or almost, ideologue or you're very, committed to certain things, you're kind of trapped in that one space. I'm willing to shift as the environment shifts. Because I'm not a propagandist. I'm not a part of some cult. You know what I'm saying? So I will move where it needs to be moved to. So I don't fall at I'm not trying to find what I can talk to. That shit don't mean I don't care about none of that shit.
That's not what I meant. That's not
Mondale Robinson.
Yeah, Mondale. Oh damn, his name ain't Mark. Yeah, Mondale. Yeah, Mondale. That's his name. Yeah, but Mondale. That. By the way, that's not what I'm talking about. Me or you both don't try to look for friends. That's never been us. That's not what I'm talking about.
Here, bro.
Yeah. So that's not. I'm just talking about the people that you know what I'm talking about, man. I don't have to do all that.
Let me be clear. I'm not going to have a drink with Tucker Carlson, and I'm not going to have a drink with Rachel Maddow. Okay, sorry.
Forget that. I'm talking about ABL, Brandon Tatum, and all them. I'm talking about them motherfuckers. I'm not
talking about hang out with Gavin Newsom, and I'm not going to hang out with Joy Reid.
Me either.
I'm still, you
Bruh.
know what I'm saying? So I mean, like,
You know what I'm talking.
that,
You know,
that right there, you know, whatever that's supposed to mean.
all
Shit.
I'm saying to you, bro.
I don't
All
know
I'm
what the
saying
fuck
is,
that means when it comes to paradox.
you know what
Paradox is
context.
paradox,
You know what
bruh.
context. Nah, forget that. You know what context. You know what
I run
context
my own
I meant it
politics.
in. You know what
I'm me.
context I meant it in. Why you see? Don't do the. I mean, you know what I meant, bro.
Hey,
Don't do that, dog.
I want to be. I need to be. Hey, the audience. I need to make it clear though. I don't want anybody to be confused because I don't give a fuck about these people. You know, you use politics the way you use politics. You use it to what you need to use it for what you need. That's all I'm trying to say. All that getting into no groups and trying to be friends. Fuck that.
It's
shit.
not. See, that's what I'm not even talking about. You know.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
You know what? You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to even. I'm not going to even go in deep detail. You know what I mean by what I said, bro. And like I said, give me an example. Give me an example of that. You said you wanted me to give you an example. I gave you one. I gave you a legitimate one.
I stuck with Monday. I mean, he has some crazy
okay
views.
Then.
He has some crazy views, but
because he's on the left. Of course, I got you.
I fuck with Ben too.
Right. Okay, then that's what I'm saying. So, and I'm saying, and what I'm saying is what I say stands. The critique of the so-called left is still there. It's still there.
Yeah, but trust and believe me, I disagree with 90% of Mondale. Just so you understand. I don't agree.
This is not about agreeing though.
And
you know what I mean. This is not about agreeing or disagreeing.
And what's your boy name?
This is not about agreeing or disagreeing.
On the Joe Budden show now that he's a weirdo. What's that motherfucker name?
You know who Mark Lamont here. You already know. You already know that.
Yeah.
Dude, that,
all these weirdo black folks.
But see, he's from. But see, that's. I'm gonna tell you. The thing is, he's a reformed revolutionary, and I mean, people don't even know this about him. I don't even know the white people that talk to him. He is a reformed. I'm talking about Nubian and all black everything, black. You know that a black cult, like all that shit. Yeah, like that's what he was on. So yeah, he was left of Dr. Umar, all that shit, like black school, black everything. He has been able. They don't know, but nah, he ain't no con artist, man. I'm just fucking with you. That's too bad. Yeah, don't do that, bro. Like we know what that is, man. Come on, dog.
So I'm starting to blow everybody up. Fuck them.
But son, you came for us all this, man. You deserve this shit, man. You came for me. I listen up like, goddamn, man, it's my nigga. You don't come at me like that. Look, you communist. You are leftist. You went in, dog. I'm like, that's just some bullshit.
Look, bro, I told you. Even with Dr. Weldon, I always question, is she a communist? But that's just what it is, bro. When people are very anti-American and they're using race, I mean, it does make you wonder because, like, bro, you know what world you live in? Like, I'm accepting certain. I always told you, I'm accepting reality. And I get that people are pushing against reality. They're trying to change reality. They're fighting things. I get all that. It's all good. Enjoy your life. I got you. I'm with you. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Black American or you in America and you become a Black person, say like a Godfrey or whatever, you become a Black person or whatever, and you're a part of our society and you're taking on a lot of the struggles of our history. And you're having to tolerate Europeans that live in this country and deal with the natives and the history and everything, bro. It's all there. I'm good with all that. It's all money. But I mean, when we're talking about when we're living in this reality, when we're living right now, I'm coming from that perspective, right? Because I would argue with you any day that some of the stuff that we do, not Black people, just Americans in general, regardless of your position, a lot of stuff you're carrying and holding on to. For me, when I hear a lot of people talk Black, white, Native American, or whatever, Hispanic, or whatever, honestly, a lot of folks sound like Jews has been complaining for 2,000 years about being put in slavery. It's like, bruh, it's a weird. It's a weird way because everyone knows that you're not the majority of the society and it's really not your actual society. You didn't set it up from that position, and so you take sort of this weird victimization position for everything. And I'm just pushing back on mostly.
But victimization is power, though.
Mostly.
But victimization is power, though.
In a liberal democracy, it's obvious.
Exactly. And the only way you quell that is by basically going with the so-called rule of law
everything
to
want.
enact.
You will not be happy. You will not be satisfied. You will not.
That's not true. You can eliminate arguments.
Bro?
You can eliminate arguments, Paradox.
Are you?
You can eliminate arguments.
Hold on. So are you free? Are you still living in Dr. Umar's? You have PTSD and you're still
Dr.
insane in
Umar.
your mind. You let me know. Are you still in bondage?
Dr.
You
Umar.
can't leave the country? Are you still hostage? No, you're not enslaved. Your slaves
No.
are Hispanics. Your slaves are Chinese. Those are your fucking slaves.
No.
The people that we are
No.
exploiting, the people that we are
Do we-
exploiting as Americans are not black.
Do we deserve
reparations? Never
reparations?
seen before on the planet, bro.
Then you shouldn't give Jewish people yearly funding
You
on a
don't.
yearly
You don't
basis
look, bro.
based off victimization.
You can victimize yourself all
Because are they free?
Nobody.
Are they in bondage? Are they free? Are they in bondage? I'm asking you a question, bro. Because if you're gonna have the same argument, man, we gotta flip it the other side, bro. No, it ain't complicated. No, it ain't. It's complicated, but then again, it's not just complicated. You just made it simple. You try to make the black and white dynamic here very simple when it's not, when it's very complicated here. You know how complicated that is when you got basically people walking around that think that they're white when they really are basically ancestors, basically their great grandparents were slaves on both sides, but they just look white now because they're basically one person passed and all they did was just date white people.
Welcome to America, bro. Welcome to America.
Whatever, bro.
Accept it.
Whatever.
It is what it is, right?
Whatever. But I'm just saying the components of race. Then they need to take it too. That's the argument. They need to take it too. It's the thing of doing the business, bro.
DC.
Nah, man. I'm not with that, bro. I can't fold on that argument because, like I said, if victimization works for Jewish people, it should work for us. If it works for Jewish people, and I'm not talking about Jewish people. I'm not talking about Jewish people. If it works for Jewish people, then we have an argument too. No, man. No. I don't want to hear about that. I don't care about you being. I don't care about you being in West Virginia, working in coal mines, coming from the European. I don't care about that, bro. I don't care about that Viking shit, bro. I don't care. I don't care, bro. It's just like no. I don't care. They still fall under the classification.
Okay.
Are they white?
Doesn't matter.
Are they white?
Doesn't matter.
Are they white?
Bullshit.
It does matter. It does matter. What you think the GI Bill was? What you think? You think that was some kind of nice thing that happened? No, bro. No. Well, I got just like and I'm gonna say, and I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it once again. If it's right, no. Fuck that. Restore first, and then I free my mind. How about that? Restore, then I free my mind. How about that? Restore first, and then I free my mind. Restore me first, and then I will free my mind. And I'm not on no Dr. Umar shit. I don't care about that. Restore first, and then I free my mind. How about that?
You have had six-figure jobs. You have made more money than 90% of Europeans.
This ain't. What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? That's what I'm saying.
What are we doing now?
See,
freedom of movement.
This ain't about me.
Stop about that victimhood shit, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. But you like I said, this ain't about me.
You're not in South Sudan. Stop it, bro.
Well, I'm not. Hold on. Now
you're not in Gaza. Stop it.
Dude, are Jewish people in peril? Are Jewish people in peril in this country or in Israel? Are they? Are they though? I'm just saying though.
I support the Jews. I'm a Christian. It's complicated.
I cannot believe you're gonna stand. You're gonna stand though. That's being political. What you doing? This is what I'm saying. This is why I don't like it. This is why I don't like it because you guys are better when y'all not in power. You guys are better. I'm gonna tell you something. You guys are better when y'all not in power because guess what? We'll get the dirty shit done, and then we'll take the blame for it. You gotta love Democrats for that shit. You gotta love that part. Because the hypocrisy on this end, is that we'll still do your dirty work for you because this is a white nationalist country at the heart of it, right? We'll still do that shit for you, right? Hold on, we'll still do this shit for you. We'll still do this dirty.
That statement's not true.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. No, hold on. You're missing my point. I don't mean it. I don't mean it in a Ku Klux Klan. I'm about to tell you. What I'm saying is, okay, yeah, cool. What I'm saying is that the same shit that you're complaining about, all this type of stuff, it's not. Yeah, So that type of thing, it don't matter. You're gonna still get your stuff done. It's just not gonna feel good because we're gonna sit there and say, I'm sorry?
Do you think you're being mistreated? Do you think you're being mistreated by America personally?
See, that's what I'm saying, man. This ain't personal, bro.
Okay.
This ain't personal. No. When these people make arguments for, like I said, and this is nothing against the Jewish people. What happened to Jewish people is horrible, bro. This is not no anti-Jewish sentiment that I'm saying here. But I'm just saying that if people can understand their victimization, it's no way in the world that you can't understand our victimization. I don't give a fuck. Fuck slavery by this end. I'm talking about after 1877, at the advent of the end of under construction. I'm talking about 100 years of fucking Jim Crow laws, fucking people moving back and forth from the South. You know this. People passing. You got people passing in your family. I know you do, Paradox. You know why? Because I've seen some of the people in your family. I know they're very light-skinned people. You got people that pass. You got white relatives. People that believe that they're white, that they're not even your first or second cousin. That's bullshit. This is crazy. This is madness. I'm saying that type of thinking has been a disease in this country. And for this country to not restore itself by telling that first truth based off that big lie of race, that's the problem, bro. That's the reason why I stand on that shit. Because at the end of the day, that's the issue. If they restore that, then people won't have these arguments. The arguments fall apart. The only reason why they still stand up, rolling in them, they can look at examples of gerrymandering. People still trying to basically stop people from voting. Who do that? Why not have people have the right to vote if they can? What the hell? You scared of them voting a different way? Who cares? This is so-called the political process, right? Especially when you're talking to somebody that's basically from the same state as you, the same neighborhood as you. Why you don't want them to basically vote? What's up with that? That's what I'm talking about, bro. Until that type of stuff gets done, then no. I support the so-called racial restoration method. I do. Until the argument can't be made no more. If the argument becomes weak, then yeah, I jump off of it. Until then, I'm on it, bro. If Jewish people can stand on it, we can stand on it too, bro. Point blank. Period.
Okay. I mean, I won't concede, but I'll let you have it because the more I keep talking, the more anti-black I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna stop.
Go. And I didn't trap you. Don't put this trap on me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm 10 toes down. I'm saying, you be like, don't trap me. Don't trap me, DC. Don't trap me. I'm not trapping. I'm not trapping.
I will.
All right, whatever, man.
I will.
You know what trap? You know what trap is? Trap is watching this because this is going to go back to what we just talked about, right? I want you to see this because this is what we just talked about. The victimization part. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's why I want the kind of people to understand. If these people have agreements that they can hold on to like this, airtight, bro, airtight.
That thing is crispy.
Airtight.
Tight.
The only way that this works, the paradox. That's exactly. But the only way that this works is if basically we turn our backs. Then you could be like, you got to get over it. Look what we did to them. You got to get over yourself. Move forward.
And I want to say something, but I won't. I'm not going to give it to you. And so since you haven't said it, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let it be out there. I ain't going to give you no more ammunition.
This is not. And now we'll repeat. The Code Breakers is not no anti-Jewish anything.
We're not anti-Jewish at all.
We are complete support. We understand.
Israel deserves to exist and protect itself.
We understand. Okay. Full state. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. I think there's a period at the end of that. Yeah, there's a period. Right. There exactly. Period. That's it. Yeah. That doesn't need to be said. Agreed. 1,000%.
But I would say that we would have a more of a real at some point. I think, but probably sooner than later, depending on how this war goes.
Yeah.
We have more of a nuanced thought about
Exactly.
Israel because
And
people had to be very careful how they had this
and
conversation.
exactly right. Got to be careful. And
Because I'm
another
gonna tell you
thing.
why. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this. And another thing is that what he do in the next week is going to affect his legacy. He could have cleaned it up. This could have been clean.
Years, bro.
That's what I'm saying. This could have been clean. This could have been clean for him if he kept it within the lines. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it later. But if he's doing what I think he's doing and listening to the people that I think he's listening to, come on, man. So everything that we said, I'm saying, and everything, and I'm gonna say this, Paradox, because we talked about it. Everything we said and everything that my fear was not the race shit. It was this.
Right.
It was exactly this. Yeah. This is what I was talking about. This right here.
The reason why I want to really protect, personally speaking, I want to protect Black culture and Black history, just so you understand where I'm coming from. Unfortunately, things are rolling, things are happening, and that unfortunately a lot of times Black stuff in America, we have a tremendous amount of power and influence. You may agree, disagree, I'm not sure. We have a tremendous
we do. No, we do. No, we do.
In the world.
Yeah.
The more the world becomes globalized and as powerful as we are as a nation, we have a tremendous amount of influence. And unfortunately, left and right, people are using our credibility, our history for their own devices. And so the issue I have with Israel and Gaza and talking heads around it is how they deploy Blackness. They're not Black people, but they want to drop it to that. They want to drop it to that category when it's convenient. And the same with Jews. They also want to move in and out of whiteness. But we're not going to do that right now. We can do a show on that, because that in itself is interesting. But I didn't want to really bring it up, but I'm going to put it out there. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like, there is some complexity here because America made a decision, and again, I disagree with it, but we probably had no choice. Once we entered World War II, we really had no choice because we took on some responsibilities. You know, after the collapse of some empires in the Middle East and in Europe, we took on some responsibilities that I can't change it, right? It's the reality. Yeah. And because of that reality, from a rights perspective, even the rights who are sort of against what's happening right now, they have to still be honest about the fact that we are involved. We are the tip of the spear. So we can pretend, right? I'll play along with America First. We can go along with America First, right? but me and you both know is that anyway, I don't want to go down that road right now. But I would just tell people
if you really want to kind of dig into this, you know, people talk about General Oliver North and his confluence with that. But you really need to look at that whole situation over again, the Senate hearings, and then look at it from a new lens, and then just incorporate what is happening today is a direct reflection about what took place at that moment, especially our relations with that region and both Iraq and Iran.
Right, and America, regardless of your politics, America has to be honest, and on some level, people have, right? Is that we decided to topple more than 6 governments. We did 6 in the Middle East, but maybe about 20 or 25 around the world. And our CIA and other groups of people have done things to where we're trying to have advantages, not necessarily spread democracy, but the same with the Catholics showing up before the gun ship showed up to take land all over the world. In history, it's the same concept. Yep. So there clearly, when you dig more into obviously the academic space, it's way more going on, way more going on than just what we're talking about from a political perspective, and sort of from a kind of a real time living, day to day type. It's like you said, just a few different things happening. But anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole today. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, Tucker Carlson went viral with Ted Cruz. Now I think it's all clickbait stuff to me, right? But I'm gonna leave that there. We're gonna go with this is all good. Now, for me, the thing that Ted Cruz got caught up in. Ted Cruz is a smart man, went to Harvard, blah 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 blah. Right? Smart person, Tucker is clever, and they're picking and choosing times to attack each other and ask certain questions.
Yeah.
Because there are Americans, same with the COVID stuff, honestly, there and many other things, but there are people here who do want real answers. And me and you both know, with a government this size, a federal government this size, with these many secrets, it sounds good to want some things, but we're not the Bahamas. So it's like, okay, I got you, but let's stop playing here, because I'm gonna tell you why. Trump took our military budget and he don't even touch. No one touches the security budget. By the way, that's all another. That don't even get discussed.
No, absolutely not.
But we don't want to dig too much into that. People, we don't want to dig too much into that. But anyway, so on the surface, politically speaking, on the surface, this is what it looks like. Tucker's taking a position, Ted's taking a position. Basically, America is taking a position. The West, especially England and France, mainly, are in some other groups too. They're taking a particular position, and also China, Russia, which is they're not talking about as much as they probably should be.
And I want people to understand.
Here with Iran. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want people to understand this too. That I'm not going to say that these two are like friendly, but they're friendly enough to where this discussion has taken place before they even went online or before they went on TV. And I think that Ted Cruz thought it was going to land a certain way with the audience, and then Tucker Carlson was telling them it was not going to land a certain way. So let's have this discussion. And that's what I want people to kind of understand, because, like I say, people know people's stances. You know who talks a certain way. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and go with that answer, right? And you're going to see how it gets reacted to in a broad spectrum from our audience. Forget the left. From our audience.
The MAGA. So now, depending on who you talk to. Me and you have known this since 2015, 2016. Yeah. And again, I'm trying not to label things. I don't want, but unfortunately, we might have to, right? The MAGA movement, however you want to frame it, you could argue on some level they're not really Republicans, and Trump isn't either. We can make an argument for that. Now, Trump is implementing Republican policies all day, every day, nonstop, obviously. The MAGA movement is a bit of a hodgepodge of some Republican ideas on some level relative to, compared to the left. But internally speaking, the MAGA movement is very problematic, because the Democrats mainstream and the Republicans mainstream have a very different agenda than MAGA, the far left, libertarians, progressives, and then people who are left of the progressives, and then of course the people who are really on the outside, right? Far left, far right. So, like you said, those are the complexities that we're dealing with, and within all of those groups, you have a lot of donors, right? A lot of folks, a lot of countries, and billionaires, etc., and organizations spending a lot of money to move the world in a certain direction. So, I just want to put that, like you said, it's a lot of different things happening. So, I mean, you both, I mean, of course, you're aware of this. A lot of moving parts here, and Tucker has a position, and a lot of people on the right who are specifically MAGA do not want warfare. They don't want war. We can talk about some other things, but specifically from a foreign point of view, they don't want warfare. They are pretty much locked in. Now, if Trump decides to, arguably he is hitting Iran. That's proxy, right? But we'll just say that if America, the ships are moving, the aircraft carriers are moving there, on and on and on, right? Everything is happening, but there are groups of people on the right who are saying we just don't want no more war. We just got to take a break, right? Take a break from it. And me and you both know, as a global nation, right? You know what? Let's not even do that right now, because that'll be a whole other conversation. So I won't even introduce that concept, by the way, because that pushes us to a whole different. We kind of get out of left and right and become something. We start talking about some other stuff that's much bigger than left and right. Yeah, we won't do that right. I won't introduce that right. We won't do that right now. We won't do it right now.
I just play this conversation. It's good to be with you. So you've come out for regime change in Iran, as distinct just from taking out the nuclear sites. What does regime change look like in Iran? somebody else in charge. How do you get there? Look, that ultimately has to be a popular uprising from the people. And it's not a complicated...
See what I'm saying?
So
hold on. I'm
not gonna do right and left, just so you know. I'm about to bang up out of there, right? Just so you know.
Okay.
Now, if you want me to live there, I will live there. I don't have to. Okay.
No,
okay,
because this conversation takes us out of this, because this is the man. This is the real shit. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like this when it gets to the real thing. Go ahead.
Now me and you both know for at least 30 years. I don't have time for dates and fact checking everything right now. I'm just kind of talking casually. But for about 30 years or so, me and you both know that the CIA, right, the Mossad, Interpol, etc., a lot of groups from a Western perspective have been trying to topple Iran again, basically, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And replace the government, right? And we know that the reason why I paused it there, and it's only been 10 seconds, is because he said something that's been said for an extremely long time. They're running propaganda saying that, well, the people of Iran, want X, Y, and Z, and Iran used to be this in the 60s, and blah, blah, blah. That's pure propaganda. It is pure propaganda.
Yeah, I know.
On that side. From an Israeli side, I've seen some data where it's black and white with them. We're calling. I'm gonna add. I'm gonna put the language. I'm gonna put the language on.
We're not. We can't be. Yeah, we can't be in the same space. We can't. We can't be in the same. Exactly. Hold on. We've been talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like that. That's not discussion. We're not going to be in the same space, bro. Like that's just
fuck the religion, fuck the religion, fuck the Jews, the religion shit, the Islam shit, all that bullshit, all that distraction shit.
Gang.
This is about land.
Yeah, this is about land. Yeah, exactly.
This is about land. This is about power. This is about control
and proximity.
You can stuff the rest of the bullshit up under the top. You can put the rest of the bullshit under that shit.
Yeah.
Jesus said this, and the Bible says this about, yada, 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 and American fuck all that shit. Fuck all that bullshit.
And this is where you're saying, I'm forcing my friend to update real time. Update.
Yeah. Because trust and believe me, when the Europeans came to America, what did they say? God did X, Jesus X. We gotta do X, Y, and Z. Yada, it's a
manifest destiny.
You can lay all that bullshit on top. It's conquering. Fuck it. But anyway, let's stop playing.
Exactly right.
Question: is America better off with a country that has a leader who hates us and wants to kill us, or to have a country with a leader who likes us and wants to be friends with us? And
definitely the latter is better.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so that's not a complicated statement.
Pause it.
I believe.
You see what I'm saying? This why what people. That's what I'm saying. Like this is like. If they're telling you we don't want to fight, that's not enough. That we don't want what? That's none of our business. Seriously. This is, let them have at it for a second. If it gets too crazy, then we can get involved. That's not what you're doing though. What's this friendly stuff? What's this friendly thing? you forcing me to smile at you? I gotta capitulate to you? I'm saying as another country, operating from that standpoint, right? To be autonomous.
Of course.
Autonomous.
Iran, in my argument, I can make an argument. I can make an argument in any direction, right? But if I live in Iran, I don't give a shit about democracy, the West,
exactly,
culture. Right. It's an Ayatollah, right?
Ayatollah, exactly.
Right. So if I'm in charge, my argument, my position is just like China or Pakistan or anybody else.
Dude.
All y'all got nuclear weapons around me. 14 nations around me got nuclear weapons, whatever the number is.
Exactly. Right? And not only that, you stole some of our scientists to enhance
that too.
Your weaponry. It's just because we got some of the smartest people in the world, by the way. It's one of the smartest countries in the world.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the smartest countries in the world. People don't know that. They got what, a 98% literacy rate?
Oh, it's crazy. Well, look, even when you think about Iraq being a more secular Middle Eastern country and having more things that are more open and not really having a religious place, we know that, like you said, we're talking about things that we're covering, right? We're covering, we're taking a position from the West, but again, Iran. Well, not only. Well, you know, I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to jump too far. But what you said, you're right. You're right. Definitely.
You look across the world when you have countries that have dictators that are viciously anti-America. Venezuela, Maduro hates us. Would we be better off with Maduro out of power?
Yep. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. This right here though. What he just said. What he just, and that's what I'm going to tell you about levels, right? And so what I keep trying to express to people in my world, right, is that in the world there's levels. There's people who shape the world, and then everything else kind of falls below that. So if you have conversations about different things in your life and your family, friends, neighbor, whatever, right? All the things you talk about, those things only exist because of what they're talking about right now. So I prefer to live in this space than things that more or less fall below this, just so we understand where I'm always trying to be, by the way. When you look at what he's talking about, right, we're talking about global, this is what we're talking about power. And so
yeah, understood.
There is, see, I don't want to take shots at people right now because it'll just take too much time. But I would just say this. When this empire decides, however it does it, that nations are a threat to us, we deal with it. We deal with the shit. And this is the catch to that. Other nations will not organize to fight us on that. Let's put that in perspective. So you got China, you got China, Russia, Iran.
Yep.
Right? Iran, Russia, and China have agreements. China and Russia, Iran. They have agreements in place, right? Now, Russia and China may not feel like they may be unhappy with what's happening right now, right? And they may be having conversations, but at the end of the day, they're not going to show up. See what I'm saying? Iran is on its own. However you want to process that information, right? I don't care who's sending them stuff, whatever, right? At the end of the day, Iran is on its own. Take it how you want to take it. My point is that when people start, and I'm talking about, it is an endless amount of people, authors, academics, experts, specialists who run their cocksuckers about America ain't shit, America falling apart, America's collapsing, yada, 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 yada. Sell your books, sell your bullshit clicks, keep running that bullshit propaganda to make money off of America, right? If we bang on Iran, right? And if everybody's ideas is true, all these anti-American Americans who live here talking about America's falling apart, where you at now? Say it now. Because if you think that we are a weak nation, if we are a weak empire, prove it now, right? Yeah. If your argument is, well, Israel's going to drag us to this war, okay, well, if Iran's the opposition, where you at, Russia? Where you at, China? North Korea? Pakistan? Brazil? Whoever the fuck you want to pick. Where, see, because me and you discuss this all the time.
Yeah.
If this takes place, right? It's a funny thing to me that all these so-called experts on China and Russia, America ain't shit. America gonna. Where y'all at though? Where is that? Give me that argument right now though. But guess what, DC? I follow all of them motherfuckers. You know what they're not saying? Matter of fact, guess what they're not saying? They're not saying that. Guess what, DC? They're not talking about it at all. I can give you a list of people right now who, prior to last week, spend their careers talking about the collapse of this and the collapse of that and all this bullshit that don't mean shit that you've been talking about, right? And I love these moments because if your argument a week ago was that we ain't this, then what's the argument then? There ain't no fucking argument. What you should be saying is that America better be scared of Iran. America better be scared of Russia. China's gonna get involved. They not saying that shit. That's why I keep telling people you're frauds. If you talking shit about America and you talking about some Russia bullshit or some China bullshit or any other nonsensical bullshit about economies and economics and you know the debt and all this crap, prove it now then. But they not though. They gonna shut their fucking mouths up. They gonna shut their cocksuckers up. They gonna wait till we destroy this place if we decide to do that.
Right,
exactly. Go back to their business model. Bullshit.
Exactly.
Fear mongering, lies, propaganda, Russian propaganda. Most, but anyway, I'm sorry.
And this can be even said that sometimes just hearing people even, you know, enact something like that makes people start something. No, it makes people start stuff and then makes us fight when we don't have to. I mean, why poke the bear? There's no reason to poke the bear. Period. Just,
I'm gonna say it again.
You know, I'm never going to try to sit up here and question the military might of America. That's foolishness. That's crazy.
95% of the 95% of the world, America.
Why would I want? Why would I want innocent lives to be? That's what I'm saying. So if you, it's like the opposite thing happening. Why would I want to prove that the bully out here is really the bully? The big dog is really the big dog. I don't need to prove that. Like, I don't need to talk shit about America to make them go out and prove it to people. That's what I don't like. I don't like that part.
My thing is this: if George Bush says y'all are the acts of evil, and you're anti-Western, we do business. We do business together. But if you're so great and you're so strong and you're so independent and you want to smoke, and I told you this before, every time this event happens, we have it recorded on our calls for the last 10 years. I don't want to hear no sneaky shit and they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait in the woods and they're tigers. They're gonna wait and they're gonna count. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. These motherfuckers are propagandists. They're unfortunately they're taking advantage of people who don't know enough information, and they're using fear to make them feel good, for that matter, that somehow the West is going to collapse. And I'm like, bro, you're not studying enough. You need to do more research. You're full of shit. You're listening to dumbass, honestly. And you know what's so funny? These are moments in time, by the way, where DC it's physical. It's physical now.
Yeah, this is a doing part. Yeah, absolutely.
If you think you're ready,
this is it.
Now Russia's busy. They're busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And China's trying to hold their country together. So we won't talk about that disaster, that shit show over there. So I don't want to get to that shit. But anyway, I don't even want to go down that road.
We gotta get to China soon, though. We gotta get to China soon.
Right. And North Korea don't know what time it is in the other day. They're all over the place. And so my point is this: these are your moments in time. If you want to be an empire, right? If you want to be number one, if you want to put the work in,
proof of concept. Here you go.
Go work. They're not gonna do shit. Matter of fact, I won't tell you who put out statements saying America don't do this, but I'm gonna let that just sit out there in the ether. I'm gonna use that later for these dumb fucks who want to bring up these other countries. I'm gonna say that for later, by the way. But anyway, let me hit. I have enough.
Why would you want more people to get killed? I just don't understand that part.
They don't even understand that part, DC. Russia lost 1 million soldiers already. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Just why?
You got these jackasses running their fucking mouths and don't understand about blood. I mean, blood and soil, man. Like that's why I be telling you, man. When you're around these military people, bro, and they talking about, man, life and death, bro. It's just, I don't care about the hood and streets and people, gangs and cartels and shit in America and all that bullshit. That shit don't mean nothing to me, bro. When you listen to people, when you're around people every day who have to put their lives on the line to protect
in the real trenches. Yeah, in the real trenches.
Like you said. And when people in different countries, and again, this is a global sacrifice. When nations go to war, it is on a level that I just don't think people grasp. That their minds just do not want to get them to the level where we can play with politics and have fun and even talk about gay rights. It could be anything, right? I know that's it's real, but I understand it's levels to it. And when we're talking about establishing environments, setting up things to allow you to even have those conversations, and what that really means, right? And what in the life that you have to sacrifice, what you got to give up, things you got to give up for that. I just don't think it resonates. I honestly don't think it resonates, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just so much
It should be taken
easier
way
to
more
just,
seriously.
yeah, it's just so much easier to talk about, when it's not being done, to not see it. Because, like I said, when it gets out there and the fireworks get to popping off, then that's when it becomes real. This is not play
When they
at all.
tell you, so watch this. Fuck your politics. When they tell you to put that M4 in your hand or that AK, depending on
Yep.
what country you living in, when they tell you
Yep.
as a regular, everyday person pretending in your life, really, you're pretending. When I put that gun in your hand and now I need you to go to that fucking line up there and go to work, then
Yep.
we'll see reality. And that's what I keep telling you. That's why I can't talk to folks about shit, because you're not in the real world. You're living in the world that our military has allowed you to fucking live in and fucking enjoy, be it the financial industry or the liberal industry or whatever the fuck you want to pick. You don't understand the level that it takes. You can talk about Jim Crow, slavery,
And the
how
cost.
fucked up this
Yeah,
is,
and the
how
cost.
fucked up the conquering is, how fucked up we are here now, though. We're
Yeah.
here now. It ain't the 1500s or the 1600s. Empires have been falling, bro. They've been crumbling, bro. And to
Mhm.
maintain a lot of this shit requires a level of sacrifice. I
It's a
tell you, I
sacrifice, man.
just don't think people address
And
that.
and not only that, just even to swallow the sins of even trying to, because like I said, like I told people too, even as bad as I say it is, I do understand that it could be a whole lot worse with other people in charge, a whole lot
Fuck
worse.
yeah.
And these people are not gonna spare us, bro. They don't give a
Don't give
damn.
a
We
fuck
are
about your
Americans.
history. The history gets
Yeah,
straight
we
to
are
the point, by the way.
Americans at the end of the day.
You know that, right?
They would want to probably, that's what I'm saying. They probably want to kill
Your
us
history
first
gets
for
it
just
right.
even fighting. Right, that's what I'm saying. They probably want to kill us first for even fighting for them. Like, yo, we really can't trust y'all. Like,
Right.
you know what
We
I'm
all over
saying?
the place.
It's like,
Right. We all over the place.
yeah, they'll be like, oh hell no, you got to go. So I don't know what people's plan is when they talk like that, but yeah,
I don't know what
we
the
in
fuck
full
they're
agreement
talking about.
there.
They're talking bullshit, fantasy, irrelevant
Yeah.
shit that don't mean anything.
Full
It's not
agreement
real.
there, brother. Yeah,
Power, absolutely. I want our enemies out of power, and I want our friends in power.
I could not agree more. The question is, how do you get there?
Of course.
And we've been trying to kill Maduro for quite some time. We have troops there, as you know.
I don't know that we've been trying to kill Maduro.
We have.
Oh.
And I think you know that. And
Okay, I don't know that.
okay, well, as a statement of fact, we have. So
DC, this is why I don't do. I would do shows every day.
You
Honestly,
see what I'm saying? No, but this is a good. No. But hold on. But Paradise. That's why this is a great discussion, because it sort of reminds me of you talk.
Come on,
like,
Ted.
it's
Stop
like
playing,
it's
Ted.
just like
Stop it.
yes.
Ted, you playing right now. Stop
He's
it,
telling him
Stop
exactly. It's just like, what are you doing? We both agreed that we was going to say this. Like, you want to come on here and act like we didn't talk about this already. Now get out of here, bro.
That's right. Playing politics, baby.
We do have massive sanctions. We tried to pressure him out of office.
yeah, and there's all kinds
not
of
aware
stuff.
of efforts
I'm just saying
to
there's a
kill
lot of pressure coming from various parts of the U.S. government on that government, and it's still there.
him. Yeah.
Same
There is so many enemies on the left, but I need more troops to take them out. Let's turn this -8 into +4. Okay, this should definitely help me get the job done. Nice, I'm mowing them down now.
country of our ancestors, Cuba, 1959, we've been working on that. Hasn't worked. So it's I think we both agree it's hard to do.
It absolutely is hard. And look, I think you're reasonable to ask, how do we produce that? And I think there's a distinction between what your objective is and the means to get it. There are
Right.
all sorts of things I would say we would be better off. We'd be better off in China without Xi there. Should we invade China and topple Xi? Of course not.
Better off with no national debt.
There are lots of things.
Totally.
But it's good to say, all right, what are our objectives?
Right.
And so with the Ayatollah in Iran, saying you're for regime change, I don't view as complicated. I mean, the guy literally leads mobs chanting death to America. So that's not good.
Definitely not good. But the reason I think it's important to get a little more detailed about how that might happen is because there's military action in progress, which we're supporting. And the president has said clearly, including last night, that he is focused on eliminating the capacity of the Iranian government to produce nuclear weapons. You are saying we need to use military force to effect regime change.
I have not said that.
Oh, I must have.
No, I have not said that once.
Okay.
I don't think we need to use military force to do regime change. I said I support it. I would like to see it happen. You asked me how should it happen? A popular uprising. What I've advocated for. All right, let's step back a second. You and I, we've known each other a long time. I would say we agree on about 80% of the things on Earth.
For sure.
And there are a lot of things, and we can get into the nitty-gritty of foreign policy as much as you want. There are a lot of things on which you and I agree, not just a little bit, but violently.
I totally agree. I was rooting for you in your last campaign, for sure.
Well, thank you. Look, you have been heroic on the border. You've been one of the clearest and best voices in the whole country on securing the border and on the absolute crisis we're facing. And in Texas, I see it and live it every day. In COVID, in fact, you may recall in the middle of the COVID lockdown, I was out walking my dog when the whole world was shut down and we were living in lunatic times. And I called you and said, Tucker, your nightly monologues are the single best thing on television. Like I watch them like an injection of crack. Okay, I'm mixing my metaphor because you don't inject crack, but you get what I'm saying.
Try.
No, I mean, you were standing up and speaking like, what the hell are we doing in a way that we desperately need. First Amendment and what
nasty
I would
word,
say,
by the way, very, very nasty word.
Of Republican foreign policy. There have been interventionists, and those have been people like John McCain and Lindsey Graham and George W. Bush. And there have been isolationists. And the most prominent of those have been Ron Paul and Rand Paul, and there are others. And people perceive those are the two choices. You got to be one or the other. I've always thought both were wrong. I don't agree with either one. The way I view my own foreign policy.
I'm with you, by the way, for whatever it's worth. I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I don't know who set up that binary, but there are lots of choices, actually.
I mean, people sort of naturally fall into, I think they want to classify people and they're like, okay, you're one or the other and you got to be all or nothing. And the interventionists, it seems, have never seen a country they didn't want to invade, and that doesn't make any sense to me. And the isolationists, I think, don't take the threats to America seriously. And I think that's naive and it doesn't work. And so my view, I consider myself a third point on the triangle. And what I describe that as is that I am a non-interventionist hawk, which sounds a little weird, but what do I mean by that? I mean the central touch point for U.S. foreign policy and for any question of military intervention should be the vital national security interest of the United States. How does this make America safer? How does this protect Americans? If it does, we should be strong. And actually, another way of conceiving what I'm saying, I'm speaking theoretically, but Reagan referred to it as peace through strength. And actually, I think Donald Trump's foreign policy is very much what I'm describing, a non-interventionist hawk, where he understands that, and I think this is historically true, the best way to avoid war is being strong. That weakness and isolationism, I think, encourages war. So going back to regime change, where you started in Iran.
So just to make, I don't think I disagree with anything you've said. So we may not be that far apart, really, because you said that.
Now, DC. When have we
Oh,
done
yeah.
peace? When have we done peace
Oh yeah.
through strength? Reagan said,
No, see, no.
Fucking Reagan, bro. Stop it.
This is
crazy.
what
We've been at war nonstop. Fucking crazy. It's crazy.
this is what's interesting, right? Is that when he said he was non-interventist, what was the word that he used? Non-interventist.
That's it. That's it. That's the word he used.
No, but it's the word at the end of it is what I wanted to kind of like speak to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's the very opposite end of the word means to be involved, actively involved.
Actively, yeah.
So always pressing the button, always being around, always showcasing strength, always having troops on the ground.
Yeah, constantly saying.
Yeah, you're not talking about leaving. Yeah, you're not talking about leaving somebody alone. That's why you want a friendly there, so they can enact the policies through de facto through you guys. But just say that. That's my only issue. Because guess what? Everybody sees that's what it is. So you're not a hands-off person. You're involved. You want to enforce a strong hand. You want to show strength. You want to be around to say, hold on. Don't get no funny ideas about doing something around here because we are involved. You know that we are around here. The embassy is right down the block here. So that means we can enact force upon you guys anytime, any place, anytime. There ain't no jurisdiction for us. There ain't no bound. We're not bound by laws. I don't know if people understand, like, you know, we would basically let people know, hey, look, it's to our behest, like, yeah, you know, we're going to raid these houses in this particular area because of so-called terrorist activities. Well, there's children there. Oh, we know that. There's a hospital. We know that too. But the target, that's the words the military use. See, wording is very important. Ted Cruz is trying to get tricky with the words. Tucker Carlson is trying to get to a more updated truth. That's what I meant by the conversation. You see what I'm saying? That's why it was interesting to me, because I'm like, oh, people was talking about how this. No, this is very, very intricate to listen to understand this conversation that we had. Go ahead. You go ahead and play it.
That the single criterion for making decisions about America's foreign policy is America's national interest.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Which is also America first. That's another way of putting that as
I think
well.
it's the definition of it.
Yeah.
It's hardly breaking news. The U.S. dollar has been great people.
What you've said publicly, I think on Iran in particular, you and I disagree. And all right, let me contrast it when Obama was president. When Obama was president, you remember he talked about wanting to have military action against Syria.
Mhm.
And at the time, I tried to keep an open mind to it. I said, okay, let me listen to the commander-in-chief, describe to me how this is in America's interest and what your plan is. And Bashar Assad was a bad guy. He was killing his own citizens, and he had chemical weapons that were very dangerous. I could conceive of a commander-in-chief laying out a plan for, okay, we're going to go in and say, grab the chemical weapons and leave. Like, I could see that if there was a real threat to America and there was a plan to prevent that, I could see supporting that. So I wanted to hear what he had to say. And I listened both in classified briefings and public questioning. And number one, their public defense of it was incoherent. So John Kerry said, we're going to engage in an unbelievably small strike. I think that's a quote. I'm like, okay, and to do what? At the time, there were 9 major rebel Islamic groups in Syria. I'm like, okay, I agree, Bashar Assad's a bad guy. You topple him. And one of the 9 other groups takes over. 7 of them were affiliated with radical Islamic terrorism. You had Al-Qaeda and Al-Nusra. I'm like, wait, how is it better to have lunatics who hate us in charge? Assad's a bad guy, but I don't want worse guys in charge. Obama administration couldn't give an answer to that. And ultimately, when you press them, John Kerry in particular, I pressed, and he would say, well, we need to defend international norms. Like, what the hell's an international norm? I don't know what it is, but I'm not interested in putting U.S. servicemen and women in harm's way to defend one.
Amen.
So I opposed the Syria attack and opposed it vocally. And it was interesting. Rand and I agreed. Rand's a friend of mine, but we agreed with that position for different reasons. What I was asking is I think the question we should ask, how does this make America safer? The Obama administration couldn't give me an answer, so I opposed it. I think Iran is very different.
Let me ask what you think of how Syria wound up, because Bashar al-Assad now lives in Moscow.
Yeah.
He was taken out by our allies, and he's been replaced by a radical Islamist who was affiliated with ISIS. So is that a win or no?
Unclear. Look, Syria's a mess, so I've consistently opposed.
But we had a secular leader.
You there, DC?
In a religious and ethnically diverse country, now we have a religious extremist, Islamic religious extremist, who's overseen the purge of Christians and Alawites. Is that better? That doesn't seem like a win.
One of the things you said is you said he was taken out by our allies. I don't think that's right. Israel didn't take Assad out. What happened, and I'll tell you.
What about Turkey?
Power companies hate when you do this, but there's nothing they can do about it. There's a new portable cooling system that can drop the temperature in a room by up to 30 degrees in just 90 seconds. And the crazy...
Turkey didn't take him out. So it was interesting. I had a long.
How did Assad get kicked out? Yeah.
When Netanyahu was in D.C. a couple of months ago, he and I sat down for a couple of hours. He's a good friend of mine. And we talked actually about Syria. He made an interesting point that I've not heard anywhere else, in that he said he believes what toppled Assad was when Israel took out Nasrallah. Nasrallah was the head of Hezbollah, and they took him out. And he made an interesting point. He said it's fascinating how a charismatic leader, and Bibi said, look, Nasrallah was a very
thanks, Mike. Maybe.